Warning. This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome to Viewer's Choice. Your selection is about to begin. But first, take a look at what else you can see this week.
Hey, dudes, inviting you to travel through time. First stop, a long layover at the video store.
Bogus.
Wait, you've got Viewer's Choice.
Excellent.
Hello, you rotten little bloodsuckers.
America's most popular now. Get extra value. $12.50 cash back.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! What? Say what it is!
Let's get out of here! Like now!
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day and thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
This is my ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. This is the core. Where we broadcast our pirate signal and hack into the Matrix.
Welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar with your host, Anesto Morado, the double-headed coin, and your co-host, Pablo Morado, the Thunderbolt. Together, we are the Pyramid Podcast.
Have a nice day.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward.
What are you blowing the whistle on? That there are technologies at the South Pole Station that people can't even consider that exist on this planet.
Like what?
Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get into their vocabulary fast. The Ice Cube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest telescope. And now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapons system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011 on the front end of the year.
How do you know for a fact that that was responsible?
It's the most banned podcast on the internet with your hosts, Anesto and Pablo Morado.
Stay tuned to get the scoop on current events, conspiracies, and paranormal phenomenon as we fly on the hovercraft the Nebuchadnezzar through the mystical forest of Narnia, broadcasting to you live despite the efforts of the powers that be.
What is NATO and why are the world's most powerful leaders suddenly so worried about it? Well, NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's a political and military alliance between North America and Europe that was born out of World War II and signed into effect in 1949. Its main aim back then, to push back against any future aggression from the Soviet Union.
The development of the North Atlantic Treaty has been reflected in the recent changes in the Soviet High Command.
This became particularly important in 1955 when the Soviet Union and 7 other European countries signed the Warsaw Pact. Communism was spreading across Eastern and Central Europe, and this pact promised military support for Soviet satellite states. There were 12 original NATO member countries. Today, there are 28. 7 of those are former Warsaw Pact countries. Each member of NATO has an equal say in discussions and decisions. One of the most important principles of the NATO Treaty is Article 5. It states that an attack on one country is in theory an attack against all members.
Just 2 days after the world was stunned by that catastrophic earthquake in Taiwan comes a quake right here in New York City. At 10:23 a.m., the Big Apple was rattled by a 4.8 magnitude earthquake with tremors felt up and down the East Coast from
Revelation 6 seal, the great earthquake, the sun becoming dark, the moon becoming blood, the stars of heaven falling to the earth. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video.
Diddy. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy things that's going on with this story, Diddy, right? I mean, a lot of people are calling him the Epstein of the music, the Hollywood world, the business, what do you call it, the entertainment world. I'll read this story and then I want to kind of get your thoughts on this here. So here's a story. Sean Diddy Combs' former bodyguard claims music mogul had tapes of politicians and princes.
Welcome to the Conspiracies with your hosts,
Anesto and Pablo Morado. Welcome to the most banned podcast on the internet. Tonight we're going to be talking about what's going on with the eclipse, what's going on in the world of conspiracies, current events, and paranormal phenomena. This is your host, Pablo Morado, and we got Anesto Morado in studio live in the Nebuchadnezzar. Welcome, folks. This is going to be an explosive podcast. We're going to have so many things. Hopefully you're liking the new angle, the new images, the new way of we coming together on this podcast. It's going to be another evolution. So stay tuned. This is going to be a very, very good podcast. A lot of great stories. And we got to start every podcast with our favorite. Hit it, Anesto.
Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Are you guys excited for this incredible event tomorrow? Let's start it off with some. There we go. The sounds of coins.
The sounds of coins. That's right. And we got to start off every podcast by saying, please donate.
No sabía que era otra pregunta. Tú nunca te quedas ahí, ¿no? Siempre con el dinero.
You know what I'm saying? How you think a nigga's supposed to get this shit? And this shit don't, money don't grow on trees, shit don't fall.
Come on, man.
I'm saying, how you think a nigga's supposed to get this shit? And this shit don't, money don't grow on trees, shit don't fall out the sky, nigga.
That's right. It doesn't fall out the sky. And we got in studio our favorite,
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
That's right. We got our fungi coffee.
What flavor is this?
Knock it off, Julie.
What?
I don't need you to tell me how fucking good my coffee is, okay? I'm the one who buys it. I know how good it is.
Bonnie goes shopping, she buys shit. I buy the gourmet expensive stuff because when I drink it, I want to taste it.
Yeah, I want to make an announcement for all those that have this claim. Is that you?
That's happening outside. Those are the cicadas that are coming.
Oh, the cicadas. For all those that are like complaining, that are saying, "Oh, our fungi coffee is too expensive," blah 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 blah. Well, it's gourmet shit. You know, I buy the expensive stuff because I want to taste it. You want to have mushroom infused coffee that tastes like garbage? Go ahead, buy whatever else is out there.
Folgers Crystals does not have mushrooms.
But even the ones that do have mushrooms, like Rise, go ahead, drink that coffee and be happy with that disgusting buttery flavor that it comes along with it. Our coffee is coffee. It tastes delicious like coffee should. It doesn't taste like mushrooms. It tastes like good coffee with mushrooms infused in it. So you want to have good coffee, you're going to have to pay a little bit extra. That's just them the breaks. You want to have a supply system where people are actually getting paid good. You want to have a supply system that people are actually getting, fair trade and everything. Well, you're going to have to pay these people that put everything together, right? If you want to have slave labor coffee, then go ahead, buy the cheaper crap. But you're going to have that on your conscience that what you're drinking comes at the cost of some child doing things that you don't want to do. You want to support that brand? You want to support, child labor and all these other things that other coffee brands have? Go ahead, support that. But that's not our brand. We have expensive coffee, period, because it's good for you and it tastes good. So if you're complaining about price, then I'm sorry, our coffee is just not for you. We got good stuff for a reason. We want to make sure that we're putting out good stuff in the world, not negative and perpetuating.
I believe if they just, dive into their wallet just a little bit further.
It's only a few dollars more, folks.
They're going to enjoy a great, you have to be a coffee connoisseur, but you will enjoy a great cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It frustrates me that people have like they're concerned about their how expensive it is, but in reality,
we're comparable with Rise.
We're not overly expensive, but compared to like a Folgers, for example, we're more expensive than Folgers, of course. But
Rise it's not cheap.
Good coffee is not cheap. Period. I'll play this again.
What flavor is this?
Knock it off, Julie.
What?
I don't need you to tell me how fucking good my coffee is, okay? I'm the one who buys it. I know how good it is. Bonnie goes shopping, she buys shit. I buy the gourmet expensive stuff because when I drink it, I want to taste it.
Right. So enough ranting about the coffee. We got a bombshell of a podcast ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
So what did you think about the intro? Let's first start there.
The intro is very enticing. This whole thing with Antarctica and the Southern secret program way down south. Again, if you guys are listeners to the podcast, I had firsthand conversation with a person that's been down there to Antarctica.
That's right. Oh, and we got to get that guy on. Remember,
I've been trying to reach him. I don't know, when he goes down there, I don't know if he's incommunicado, but he did tell me that going to Antarctica, it's not an easy feat.
No, it's not.
If you go on this, Disney tour, for lack of a better word, and you take a tour down there where they have like little tents, they're not taking you to the classified area.
Right.
But the person I talked to, he did go down there, and what he told me kind of concurs with that report in the beginning of the show. He said that from the glaciers right? From these icebergs that are melting, he saw two giant rods protruding from the ice. And this is where the scientists are concentrated on. Now, I jokingly told them, you know, could it be like there's a frozen Optimus Prime under there or something like that?
Right.
And he goes, you're kidding, you know, you're joking around. But I wouldn't put it past them that there is something really ancient down there, not of this world. And they're trying to mask it. And he says that he believes that they're tinkering with it. Whatever it is, either it's an ancient artifact, is it something that they're working on, such as the HARP program. HARP is mainly based up north.
Right. And then you have the other program, the DEW program, the Direct Energy Weapon program that's in down south.
I wasn't aware of the DE. What is it?
DEW, Direct Energy Weapon
and
program.
that's located in Antarctica?
Yeah, I mean, I have a short clip here that would be beneficial to play for some of us that aren't aware of it. And this is from the Sean Ryan show. Is an Antarctica firefighter. So I'll play this here for you.
Even in the blistering cold, there's firefighters.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Technologies at the South Pole Station that people can't even consider that exist on this planet.
Like what?
Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get into their vocabulary fast. The ice cube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest telescope. And now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapons system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011 on the front end of the year.
How do you know for a fact that that was responsible for that?
Because I was present and I have gone over this with the pertinent people, but I will not be releasing their names.
What are you blowing the whistle on?
So they have a way. We can dive into it a little bit more, but this direct energy weapon program that they have down there has a way to start earthquakes to specific regions.
I want you to look up the word neutrinos.
All right, neutrinos. All right, hold on.
This is for people that, you know, are not aware of what neutrinos are.
Okay. Neutrinos are subatomic particles that are electrically neutral and have very little mass. They're also known as ghost particles.
And they are everywhere.
Yeah. Neutrinos are the most abundant particles in the universe with mass. They are produced when an atomic nuclei come together or break apart, such as in the sun or a nuclear reactor. Even bananas emit neutrinos due to a natural radioactivity of the potassium in the fruit.
Well, there you go. For people that didn't know what neutrinos are, they are everywhere. You can't see them, but they're there.
Oh, you dropped off on the, what happened? You dropped off.
From
the stream here. I don't see you on.
Oh, I'm frozen.
It's all right here. Well, we got our backup camera to get us both in view here. So
okay,
yeah.
So let me see if I continue while I try to. Right in the beginning of the cast, folks. It always happens.
There's always something. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the world today. There's a lot of interesting stories to go over, but let's start off with the whole New York earthquake. that rattled New York and its skyscrapers. I'll put this up on screen here for everyone. But this is the minute I saw this and I heard of this. I mean, a lot of things came to mind. But one thing also that came to mind was this a directed energy weapon? And I was listening to Mr. Alex Jones, and the host for the evening was Mr. Owen Schroyer, who was incarcerated for being just present during January 6th, during that whole riot. And he fought and fought and fought, but unfortunately, they got him anyway. And but now he's back out, and he was hosting the Alex Jones show, and he was going over the earthquake, and he's like, I can't put it past it, the fact that this could be a directed energy weapon. I mean, at this point in time, there's so many interesting things that are going on in this world that we don't know about, that it's very plausible. And then you have this guy from Antarctica saying that it exists. I mean, I don't know. It could have been a directed energy weapon for all we know. For all we know, it could have been a directed energy weapon.
Isn't the directed energy weapon part of the conspiracy about what happened in Hawaii?
So yeah, that's another version of directed energy weapons as well. But based on what this guy has been saying, I mean, if you want, I can put a little bit of what he was talking about here. And let me see if I can find our
now, folks, if you're tuning in to the Eclipse Extravaganza, hang in there. We're gonna tie everything up together.
Yeah.
Factor for Raytheon, which is a military-industrial complex company.
So here you get a little bit more detail in this clip here. Let me just add this to the screen here. So this is from the Sean Ryan show, and this guy.
Am I back?
Yes, I see you back. Yeah.
All right. For some reason, my computer froze.
All right.
Powers that be don't want us to dialogue.
No, they don't. So this is from the Sean Ryan show. Check out what the Sean Ryan has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UFO Whistleblower Marathon. This is part 3 of the 3-part series. Remember, all of these gentlemen have testified in front of Congress under oath. Today we have Eric,
which is important. That's an important thing that we need to make sure that everyone understands. That guy that we just heard before, he testified in Congress under oath
during the David Rush.
No, on a separate
on a separate whistleblowing.
Yeah,
interesting
about this.
Eric Hecker, who is a firefighter contractor for Raytheon, which is a military-industrial complex company. And he was in Antarctica at a Raytheon facility and says that Raytheon has the technology to produce earthquakes all throughout the planet. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and comment. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review, and you content creators out there, we've seen you all.
As presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest telescope. And now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapons system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011 on the front end of the year.
How do you know for a fact that that was responsible for that?
Because I was present and I have gone over this with the pertinent people, but I will not be releasing their names.
Okay.
But I was on the team, let's just say.
Just 2 days after the world.
This.
Well,
I provided documentation from the actual manufacturer's specs. So this unit was constructed, operated, and maintained by the University of Wisconsin. And just like device on the planet, whether you're driving an M1 Abrams tank or operating the ice cube neutrino detector, there's operators manuals. that tell you how things work. Right there in that information, free for everybody to find. I found it myself. I was directed to find it, I'll put it that way, and release this information. And it states very clearly that each one of these DOMs can transmit at 2,047 volts each. So these are currently the facts of life.
How do you know? I mean, how do you? I guess what I'm asking is, how did it even come to your attention that this triggered an earthquake? If you're at the South Pole and New Zealand had an earthquake, I mean, how did you know it came from the South Pole?
Without divulging names?
Without divulging names.
I could only say that it was communicated to me from team members that were present and fully read in at the time that they were aware. And since that time,
at the immediate, like the same day?
Oh, absolutely. It was understood.
Well, what was said?
That we accidentally hit Christchurch, New Zealand twice when they were trying to fire up this weapon for the first time.
What was it?
It was friendly fire.
So,
fire.
Directed energy weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a different spin on it.
Remember, this is a guy that worked for Raytheon, testified under oath, and claims to have physical proof that this happened.
Okay, so you imagine for a second we are tinkering in Antarctica.
Right.
With powerful weapons.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to Europe, and they claim that while the eclipse will be happening Monday, April the 8th, around 2:30 p.m., they are going to fire the CERN collider.
Yes.
Right? So in my estimation, before you fire something with the magnitude of that collider, right?
Mm-hmm.
I presume days before you start prepping, you start getting the machine ready, and do some preliminary tests, right? So I don't put it past them that they turned on the collider. Now, the name of this collider is what called, let me get my Trello here.
Hadron Collider.
The Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
So I don't put it past them. They turned it on. This massive machine that what it does is smash atoms together.
Right.
Right? And maybe that triggered the seismic activity in the East Coast.
Well, I don't know if it would be able to trigger seismic activity, because the way the CERN works, it's basically a loop, right? That's encircling Europe, right? It's encircling parts of Europe, and they're bringing particles to the speed of light, and they're smashing them together, right? To mimic the Big Bang, right?
Right.
And every time they smash them together, particles come out, and they start, magnifying and testing. Oh, what is this particle? What is that particle? And hence the discovery of the Higgs boson particle, the God particle, which basically is like the theory of everything, which is like the bare roots of how life and matter and all of the existence is created, which is why it got nicknamed the God particle.
So you don't think that can trigger an earthquake?
I think what that triggers is something else.
Okay.
I think what that triggers are dimensional.
It's still very powerful It's a very powerful.
Oh yeah, it's a very powerful
energy that we do not know.
Yes, but they're microscopic. So I think what's happening there is they're creating small like portals into other dimensions that they can't really understand what they're looking at. And I think every time they do this, every time they do a CERN or a hadron collision, right? Basically, that's where the birth of the Mandela effect happens, where we think something happened unanimously. The whole world believes it's one thing, but then you look back in record and it's different. And I think what they're doing, not realizing, they're switching our dimensions somehow. Somehow they're affecting, you know how like the butterfly effect, a butterfly flaps its wings and then somewhere around the world a disaster happens. I think that's what they're doing. They're affecting levels of dimension that they shouldn't be messing with, but they're so curious that they're doing it anyway. But with this directed energy weapon, this guy claims that he's seen it work, he's seen it operate, and basically different countries, it's like a relay race where different countries they pass the baton and they get to control this thing and run their conduct their test, and then they pass it on to the next country. And I think he mentions it in this
Before you go there, go to the Trello, and let's take a peek about what CERN is.
All right, hold on, and we can't get too far in the weeds here because the alarm did go off, so that means we are over our allotment for our intro. But let's continue on. Let's see, CERN, show number 89. Where are we? Here we go. TikTok?
Number 3.
Number 3. All right, here we go. Put this up on the screen for everybody.
Just to give you a taste.
Holy smokes, you're not going to believe.
Hold on. Let me put this up for everybody. Share screen. All right, here we go.
This, but
So I told you guys that NASA spoke about a ellipse that will happen along the path to totality during the April 8th, 2024 eclipse. Guys, there will be a massive amount of energy that goes along that path to totality. But
hold on, I'm getting a little distracted here because those glasses are absolutely cool. I want me a pair of those glasses.
They are. Steampunkish.
I want you guys to watch a video, and this brother right here will break down exactly what I've been saying. I said, the great city will be split into 3 parts. How do you think this prophecy will be fulfilled? Well, mankind will assist in this one. They are firing up CERN. But I want you to watch this video and also look at the new map of the United States. Here's the guy right here, and his video will be
the new map.
So I want you guys to go watch this entire video. It says, will America see the worst earthquake in history? I need you to go watch this video right now. He's going to break it down, and it's everything I've been telling you guys. But it's only for the ones who have their eyes opened and they're able to see clearly what's happening in our world. But the video will be in the description of this video. And this is an awesome breakdown by this brother right here. And everyone in America should watch this right now to get full context of what I mean by when you play with particles, what could possibly happen along that path of totality. This is very important because if you live along that San Andreas fault line, you want to watch this. Peace and love and deuces.
So, a little enticing appetizer.
Yeah. I didn't
during
realize
the April 8th, 2024 eclipse.
Towards the end of the video, he has the glasses flipped up.
Guys,
That's pretty cool.
They're
individually.
Yeah, let me see if I can put it. Yeah, look, they're flipped up. That's pretty cool. I sorry, I just got distracted by those glasses. I want a pair.
So, this guy, the one in the background,
yeah,
breaks down because people think that this guy he slipped up his words, and instead of saying eclipse, he said ellipse. Right? That ties into the CERN. So we're at the half-hour mark. Folks, hang in there. We're going to break this down.
Yes.
This is an eclipse extravaganza.
There's a lot of things because
remember, use your eclipse
you
glasses.
know, another thing that's gonna, I think,
Tomorrow, you don't want to go blind.
another thing that's important for the eclipse tomorrow, I think is going to happen, is the sacrificing of the red heifer.
Of the red heifer.
I think they're waiting for the eclipse for that to happen.
We're going to unpack that as well.
And before we go into the next segment here, one thing I found out in my research is that on October 7th, right, when Gaza had attacked Israel, right? When
Hamas attacked Israel.
Yeah, when Hamas attacked Israel, that was around the time where they were planning on sacrificing the red heifer, and they had to put a pause to it because of the war. And apparently, the reason why they sacrifice the heifers at all is to cleanse yourself from death. Something about being around death is it like taints you, makes you unclean. So you have to they had no choice but to postpone it. And I think something about this eclipse is going to, I think that's why, the other reason why Israel itself is looking for a ceasefire, but they can't get it done because Hamas doesn't want it, because Hamas knows if a ceasefire does happen,
the heifer will be sacrificed.
The heifer will be sacrificed.
And thus brings that is the domino they don't want to fall.
Exactly.
Because that will bring the rebuilding of the temple.
Right.
And with that said, we're at the half-hour mark. We got a little commercial.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll be back, folks, on the other side. Remember, your glasses tomorrow, very important. Make sure they are certified.
Hi, I am a Bobolongo, and that is a cat I just found in the alley. A strange thing happened to me when I stumbled upon a bottle of Paramin supplements and just took one gummy. I lifted up my sword and said, "By the power of Paramin, I have the power."
So, get powerful just like...
You played the wrong commercial.
I got you.
It's
yes.
exciting, folks. We got our new store up online, and we revamped that commercial so that you guys can see our new store.
That's right. All right, here we go. All right, I'll put this up on screen in a second. Hold on.
Folks, go to our site, Paramin.Store, and get some supplements. It's good for your health.
Hi, I am a Bobolongo, and that is a cat I just
It's
found
not
in
on
the
the
alley.
screen.
A strange thing happened to me when
Oh
I
no,
stumbled
hold
upon-
on. Why is it not on screen? Hold on.
I apologize, folks. With everything, there's glitches.
Yeah.
And we are, we kind of have a little different setup today.
Here we go.
Now we're
I
talking.
am a Bobolongo, and that is a cat I just found in the alley. A strange thing happened to me when I stumbled upon a bottle of Paramin supplements and just took one gummy. I lifted up my sword and said, "By the power of Paramin, I have the power."
So, get powerful just like me and get your Paramin supplements at theparamin.com. One is my wolf.
That's right.
So that is our brain boost, our flagship gummy. We take it every day. I can't go to work without it. Once I take it, for people that don't know what I do for a living, I wish I was podcasting for a living, but for now I got to pay bills. So I'm a rideshare driver. I do it full time. And when you drive a lot, you tend to get sleepy on the road, tired. It's remarkable how just sitting down, driving around can really wear you out. Brain boost, I take it, keeps me sharp on the road, keeps me alert, and it also has a great side effect, and that is if for some reason I am experiencing a headache, I take some gummies and the headaches go away. So it's a great product. We went through the painstaking task of getting the best ingredients in this gummy, and you don't want to take a nasty sticky gummy. And this gummy is the right recipe, very pleasant to chew on, and keeps you alert. It's food for the mind, food for your brain, and I recommend it. I wouldn't be recommending it if I didn't take it myself. And I do see the difference. The days I drive without the brain boost, at the 4th hour, I tend to start breaking down mentally.
And I have something new coming in. Just a sneak peek for those that are listening. We are going to be coming out with a new product specifically for energy. It's going to be an energy boosting because I work a lot of hours. I basically work 7 days a week. I mean, yesterday I had to wake up at 4 in the morning to be at a specific boot camp training that we do at 4, or rather at 5:55 in the morning. And I'm always up. I'm always operating, and I also have 2 kids as well. So I'm constantly needing energy. So what do? Unfortunately, I end up reaching for a Monster or a Red Bull or an energy drink of some sort to keep me up, because I'm exhausted. But I've been searching for ways to circumvent that, and the brain boost does help, but it's not end all be all. I mean, if you're as exhausted as I am, it's not going to give you that much of a boost. But I do have a product that we will be launching soon that is going to be healthy and is going to get you some great boost of energy. And it's unbelievable the way technology is. It's going to be like strips. Like, have you ever seen mouthwash strips like Listerine?
Yes.
It's a strip that you put on your tongue and you have energy.
Interesting. The thing with the Red Bulls and Monster, they work. But then you crash.
Exactly.
And when you crash, you crash.
Exactly. So then you reach for another one, and then it gives you another little boost. But then
this is how I've been reducing my consumption of energy drinks because I'm taking the brain boost. In my line of work, you have to be alert. Anytime, and for people that drive, you start going into la la land, that's when you gotta say, wait a minute, I'm drifting. And that's when the danger, because if you're in La La Land and the guy, you know, where I'm at, the red light is a suggestion.
Yeah,
stop if you want. You know, you could kill yourself, but if you want to go through it, go right. I see it every day. Every day somebody takes the light, you know, and you have to be sharp. So I'm glad that you gonna have a product coming out for our Paramin.Store that I can couple with the brain boost.
Yes. And it's going to be much healthier for you. It's going to give you that immediate sense of energy that you're looking for, that most people look for when they're reaching for an energy drink, without the crash of an energy drink.
Perfect.
So we're working on that. Stay tuned, because it's going to be coming out very shortly, and not certain when, but it will be dropping soon.
So, folks, if you go to Paramin.Store, you can see our full array of products. We have different types of supplements.
Go ahead. Describe a typical drifter. Give your description point by point so I can recognize a drifter when I see him.
The first thing you will notice about a drifter is his total lack of a major purpose in life. He will be conspicuous by his lack of self-confidence. He will never accomplish anything requiring thought and effort.
Don't be a
Earns all
drifter,
he earns
folks.
and more.
Yes,
So he can get
especially if
credit.
you're behind the wheel, you do not want to drift. And my creativity is at 100% every day. You know, I'm always thinking up something, and I start getting into my mind. And thank God, because of the brain boost, I notice it, and I'm like, okay, time to get sharp. You know, I recollect myself, because I got a responsibility. I have lives, you know, that I am responsible for as I am driving. So I'm glad that you're bringing up this product. Again, Paramin.Store is our new website. Go there, make a purchase. And if you do, and we notice it, you can get a badge, you know, starting from the very bottom, from Verdugo up to Torero and on. And we will acknowledge that on the cast.
That's
so with
right.
that said, let's move on.
You don't want to be like this guy, you know, with your imagination.
Exactly.
So let's move on, folks.
Radio is theater of the mind. Radio is theater of the mind. But radio is theater of the mind. It's imagination. It's imagination. Radio is theater of the mind.
Thank you, Joe.
Welcome to the AM PM game show, where Pablo and Anesto Morado attempt to determine what is going on in a video found online. Using only their ears and their third eye, the host will make a guess on what is going on. If the host gets guesses correctly, they receive $20,000 of a fiat currency that no longer exists. So what do you say, folks? Shall we play a game?
Yes, folks. Welcome to the AMPM show of the Paranormal podcast. Today is a special podcast, and it will be the best podcast yet, because I am of the faction, just the way Curtis Lewa says it. Every show we do is better than the one that we just did prior.
That's right.
And we're trying to, you know, step up the game.
Right. So with that being said, we're gonna keep it to one video to keep things moving along.
Yes, and I
we got
want
a lot of things to.
And for people that are just joining in and do not know what the AM/PM show is, I play a clip. It's an auditory clip, and you gotta guess what is going on. Because in the beginning of, the turn of the century, radio was the big thing. TV wasn't around yet, and radio was theater of the mind. So the Pyramid Podcast is a fusion of the future and the past in entertainment and news. So we trying to bring back the old style radio with the added benefits of the new technology, which is podcasting and so forth and social media. So we play clips, and if you are out there, and I see you there, I see a bunch of people online, you can play along. Don't be afraid. Give a guess, and we will gladly send you a complimentary product from our Paramin line, and so you could test it out. But please participate, because this is what it's all about.
That's right.
So with that said, I have the first clip.
All right.
And try to find out what is going on this particular clip.
All right.
So are you guys ready?
I'm ready. Hit me.
Let's see. Let me get my, there we go.
Down to Papa, here comes the train. Down to Papa, here comes the train. Down to Papa, here comes the train.
Oh no! What is this? I'm not sure. Okay, so
what is your guess?
Well, obviously, it's a mother and child. I can't tell if it's a boy or a little girl, but it's a mother and child. When you say "here comes the train," is when it's feeding. So, I'm guessing maybe some maybe a father is sleeping and the kid drops the food on the father's face or something like that. That's what I'm envisioning here.
Okay, is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. Yeah.
All right, so go to the hello.
All right. Anybody else out there want to venture a guess?
Yeah, I play it for you one more time. It's a quick clip, so we can afford to. Here we go.
Down to Papa, here comes the train.
All right. So, where am I finding this?
Okay, you go to the Trello and you go to number 12.
Here comes the train.
Yeah,
All right.
here comes the train.
All right. All right. Hold on. Put this up on screen for everybody. All right. Hold on. Come on. There we go.
Not seeing it.
There we go. Here we go. All right. Oh, so he was feeding him. It was a father. He wasn't sleeping though.
Papa, here comes the train.
So a little kid, it looks like a little girl, is feeding, I believe, her father. Is that her father or her grandfather?
It could be grandpa. Yes, es cuando tu nieta te da la comida.
Yeah, grandfather.
She's feeding him. And she just shoves the spoon a little too deep into his mouth.
All the way. Shoves the spoon way deep in his mouth.
But it's so cute when she says, here comes the train.
Down to Papa, here comes the train.
All right. So with that one out of the way,
I'll give you a
all right. I was pretty close. I wasn't I wasn't on the money, but I was pretty close. All right. So you ready for mine?
Yes, I am. I'm putting my theater of the hat.
All right.
Theater of the mind hat on.
All right. What is going on in this clip here?
All right. Shoot.
Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a pool.
Release it, girl. Let it out. Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a pool.
Release it, girl. Let it out.
All right. Play it one more time.
Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a pool.
Release it, girl. Let it out.
It was like a pool. Release it, girl. Let it out. My mind, my theater of the mind cap, right? In any normal circumstances besides the AM PM show, I would say she's at a chiropractor and maybe he's cracking something and that's the pop that you hear. But this is the AM PM show. It's like a pool. He's doing something that's getting her wet. Or the most unpleasant word in the English vernacular. Moist.
Want me to play it one more time?
Yes.
Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a pool.
Release it, girl. Let it out.
Okay, I'm gonna take a stab at this. And it's gonna sound slightly gross.
No.
But is this girl experiencing or having a colonic treatment?
A colonic treatment.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I can see where you're where you can come up with that idea.
Release it, girl. It feels like a pool. That's gonna be my final
That's
answer.
your final answer?
Yes.
All right. So anyone else want to venture a guess? I'll play it once more for those that are listening.
Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a pool.
Release it, girl. Let it out.
I want to stick with my answer.
And let me just double check because there has been some podcasts that we're thinking that everyone can hear us, and because of our system and the way things are working, we hear it, but our audience may not. So I'm just gonna tag in and see if our audience can hear this. Let me just double check here.
Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a pool.
Release it, girl. Let it out.
Oh yeah, you can hear it.
Oh,
So-
great.
That wasn't bad,
So
was it?
I don't know why
There's no pop
I
in
am
there?
not here seeing anybody make a venture a guess. We see you on there. I mean, we got how many people would you say are on with us live right now? About 30, 40 people?
30, 40 people, yeah.
Come on, folks. Venture a guess. Venture a guess. We see you out there. All right, here we go. Putting it up on screen. You ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go.
Curiosity's killing me.
All right. So, all right. Let me just put this up on screen for everyone else to watch here. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Good. That wasn't bad, was it?
Ah!
You feel a pop in there?
Yeah.
You did?
It really was like a fool.
Release it, girl. Let it out.
You always struggle with spring allergies, but you went and got this procedure done.
I found this, and I think this is perfect for you.
Yes, a guy who suffers from
allergies and sinuses.
Yes.
So this is called balloon sinoplasty. Have you heard of this before?
Never heard of this before.
All right, so let me see if I can find you.
It's like colonic for your nose.
Let me see if I can find you another video of this balloon sinoplasty. Let me see. They usually have other videos with this. Hold on. Let me see if I can quickly find
And it's
one.
funny you show this video because I'm kind of curious on that Navage.
Navage? What's Navage?
It's like this thing that they stick up your nose and it washes your nasal passages.
Let me see if I can, because they typically have other videos.
So
of
this balloon, does it have a liquid inside?
No. So what she was describing was the release of the mucus. It was like a pool of mucus that was being released. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. Let me hit a search here.
Boy, I needed that a week ago because I go through stints where I can be up like 48 hours.
Okay.
And last week, I forgot what I was doing. I believe that I was messing with one of our cars, and I came straight from work, and I didn't go to bed, and I started tinkering. I think I had to fix my car. I forget what it was.
Okay.
But it turned out that I didn't get to bed until like the very next day.
Okay.
And I also took my wife to the airport, and I fell out. I crashed and went to bed, and you guys probably heard a concert as I was snoring my ass off of being so tired. And then when I woke up, I had the very unpleasant surprise that my soft palate was swollen because I snored so hard. So I felt like like I had something in the back of my throat for like 2-3 days. And I felt like there was, behind my soft palate, there was like mucus back there. And man, this balloon thing would have probably helped me out. But we digress.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find it here so that you can see it, because this is a fascinating thing. I don't know if you will be able to endure this. I don't know if this is something. I mean, if the relief is as well as it's advertised, would it matter how uncomfortable it is to go through?
Man, if they give me, I'm a nose breather.
Okay.
I cannot breathe through my mouth because then everything dries up in there. And if my mouth dries up,
yeah, perfect. I found it.
Bacteria seems to like seep into my tonsils, and there I go with my tonsils getting irritated, and then get tonsillitis. Been there, done that.
So this is balloon sinoplasty. She couldn't breathe because of her sinuses. So check out what it looks like here.
Oh my Lord.
I could breathe. Everything is good.
For a theater of the mind, what is going on here?
Okay, he has one of these pumps, kind of reminiscent of like the pump they use when they take your blood pressure.
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect one. Yeah.
And at the end of it is a balloon, and he inserts this particular pump into her nose, and he inflates the balloon, and the balloon goes in through her nose, and it comes out of her mouth.
Right, and inflates through her mouth too.
And evidently, this clears up
I could breathe. Everything is good.
Hey, if you get me to,
Would you do it?
I would do it if it gets me to breathe. Because sometimes I can't breathe.
It looks uncomfortable though.
What I'm worried about is that balloon detaching. Now we got a problem.
Well, that's your AM PM. Oh wait. Did you get a what do you think you deserve? A ping or a
No, I get an
And that concludes our AM PM game show.
All right, Eclipsers.
Welcome to the AM PM game show where Pablo and Anesto Morado attempt to determine what is going on in a video found online. Using only their ears and their third eye, the host will make a guess on what is going on. If the host gets guesses correctly, they receive $20,000 of a fiat currency that no longer exists. So what do you say, folks? Shall we play a game?
Yes. You just tuned in to the AMPM show. Our favorite segment of the...
This is the most banned podcast on the internet with your hosts, Anesto and Pablo Morado. Stay tuned to get the scoop on current events, conspiracies, and paranormal phenomenon as we fly on the hovercraft, the Nebuchadnezzar, through the mystical forest of Narnia, broadcasting to you live, despite the efforts of the powers that be.
Yes, we are transmitting live from within our little forest here, the Narnia Forest.
That's right. So we got a lot of topics to cover.
Since we're bringing up Narnia, I'm experiencing something in Narnia that usually around this time of the year, Narnia begins to sprout heavily. It's kind of like, Punxsutawney Phil kind of said that we will have an early summer.
An early spring, you mean?
I mean, an early spring. Well, you know what I mean. An early, a short winter,
right?
For lack of a better word. And Narnia doesn't seem to
especially for April. But again, we've been having sleet, we've been having snow, we've been having a lot of weird things going on.
Yeah, so Narnia, she sprouted some beautiful little flowers, but they wilted because of the cold. And my little forest, which I love so much, haven't seen the chipmunks yet. They usually come about this time. It's a very strange year, and it's a perfect segue into this eclipse. Now, we all know that when planets align, usually it's a strange year. And this year we're having this very special solar eclipse, which is going to be a long one. We're going to see the penumbral shadow. We're not going to see the dark umbra, because I don't think we're going to be able to see totality. Now, when an eclipse happens, you got to realize this is an alignment of three celestial bodies.
Right.
Earth, moon, sun. Now, the amazing thing of the eclipse is the moon would be, if it would shift ever so slightly to the left, ever so slightly to the right, we don't get an eclipse.
Right.
The moon, it is the proper distance away from the sun and away from us so that it covers the sun completely.
Right.
Nature. Cosmic anomaly. It's amazing that this thing happens at all.
Right.
But I believe, if I read correctly, we are going to be in the penumbral umbra for about, let me not say it, Google it. How long are we going to be in the dark? this year for this eclipse.
All right, hold on.
Now, if you are in parts of the United States, such as Texas, parts of Maine and Vermont, parts of Detroit, I believe, you're going to see totality. Now, when the totality happens and the sun is completely covered, you can see the eclipse with your naked eye.
4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes. That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's going to be dark.
That's going to be dark for 4 but the whole event is going to be about 3.5 hours. Because you're going to see the moon start to creep on the sun. This is when you need these guys.
Right.
Now, let me give you a little schooling on eclipse glasses. These are flimsy. These are like reminiscent of 3D
I never
glasses.
looked out of them. You mind if I give it a test here?
Knock yourself out. Now, the way to test your glasses.
Oh man, you can't see nothing.
Nothing.
Literally,
It's supposed to block all light.
I mean, I'm staring right into the light here, and I'm not seeing. Oh, there we go. I can see a little bit. Oh, okay. Staring at that light, I can see it. Okay.
That's how, if you could see right through your eclipse glasses, throw them in the trash.
Oh, I see. You can kind of see light if it comes through, but like if you're looking at the computer here or anywhere else, no. But the studio light up here, I can definitely see, like, I see the dots of each LED light, but that's about, yeah. Oh,
And before,
and your eyes have to get adjusted to it too.
Yes.
You can't just like see it right off the bat.
So
very interesting.
It's a little late for you guys to order these online, but I believe CVS, your local 7-Eleven, if you're in the
Yeah, it's late. Tomorrow's the eclipse, so
if you're in Western Massachusetts, you can go to Cumberland. They have them. Cumberland Farms. And if you go to your local city websites, they are giving out free eclipse glasses. Now, people are under the misconception, if you're a welder, you could use the welding helmet to look at the eclipse. I don't recommend it because I've heard that they don't completely block out all light. Only the old turn of the century welding glasses are able to be used for the eclipse. So very important,
and
because
polarized sunglasses aren't going to do it either.
no, don't do that because you will damage your corneas. So
Especially that the corona is stronger, right? That's how it
right. So as it begins to block out the sun, you're going to see the outer edges of the sun.
Now, let's say hypothetically, I'm not recommending this, but let's say you have really dark polarized glasses. Can you glimpse at the moon coming over it?
I don't recommend it. Every place I've researched it have said do not use your sunglasses or polarized sunglasses, no matter how dark they are, because you will have damage to your eyes. Now, the damage to your eyes are not immediate, but if you are, taking that risk, 6 months down the road, you're going to see that your vision is being impaired. So don't take that risk. And there's a little trick that you can do I'm going to transmit the eclipse live on my Facebook feed. So it'll be on my site on Anesto Morado. I'm debating between Anesto Morado or Instagram. Instagram seems to have more traction.
Mm-hmm.
So I might do it on Instagram. I also was thinking about doing it on TikTok because we have, 6,000 plus followers on TikTok.
Oh, you would have to put, it says for your phone, you would have to put your glasses.
It can damage your phone.
Over your phone. Huh.
Absolutely. It will damage the lens on your phone. So I have a little trick for kids in case you do not have the Eclipse glasses. I don't recommend you giving Eclipse glasses to your kids anyway, because kids do what kids do.
Yeah.
They're going to take them off and try to see it with their naked eye.
Yeah.
So there's a trick. You could do a pinhole camera. And that's very simple. You could do it a couple of ways. You take a piece of cardboard, and then you take another piece of cardboard, you poke a hole in it, face the cardboard towards the sun as the beam of light goes through the hole onto the other piece of cardboard, and you're going to see how the light is going to be darkened as the moon passes by, and you'll see it on the cardboard. Or if you want to do an edible pinhole camera, you could do it with a piece of cracker, like the ones we have for our little champion upstairs, or champions, because the girl likes to eat crackers as well. So if you take a premium cracker, right, you face it towards the sun on a cardboard, you will have the same effect as a pinhole camera, which is a fun way to experience the eclipse in a safe manner.
Just make a pinhole camera with some stuff you can easily find at home. You need a box, a sheet of white paper, aluminum foil, tape, a thumbtack, and a knife or scissors. First, cut a small piece of paper and paste it on the inside of the box. Next, cut out a hole in the box on the opposite side of the box. Cover the hole up with tinfoil and poke a small hole in the center. On the same side of the box, cut out another viewing hole. And that's it. All you need to do now is look through the viewing hole and see the eclipse projection.
Oh, that's even a cooler way of doing it. See if they show it with the cracker.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, it's surprising they don't have the cracker trick.
Oh, here we go. Oh, the cereal box. They have a cereal box. No, they don't show much. Maybe like this.
This video will show you how to build a pinhole projector that you can use to safely view a solar eclipse or calculate the diameter of the sun
Type
for a science
in
project.
premium
Start by
cracker pinhole camera.
Okay.
Oh, they're not showing it, but it can be done with a cracker.
Let's make a pinhole projector. You will need 2 paper cards and a push pin.
Yeah, no.
This is the way I was thinking of doing it.
Taking the card and the push pin, poke a hole right through the center, like so. Now, with the sun at your back and your shadow directly in front of you, take the paper with the hole in it and align it on your shoulder, placing the other paper in front, like so. Here's a projection of the sun. During the eclipse, you'll be able to watch as the moon moves over the sun. Let's make a pinhole projector. You will need 2.
Interesting.
But since we have so much
But
technology,
why does this the hole have to be so small? Why it has to be a pinhole? Why couldn't it be a little bit bigger of a hole?
that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that.
Well, yeah, we digressed a little bit with this.
The fascinating thing about a pinhole camera, that even if you're like, I've seen videos where people are trapped like in the back of a cargo van.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able to poke a hole through it and have something to project whatever light is coming through that hole on a piece of paper, you could actually see what's going on outside.
Oh, really?
Yes, you could see it. It's blurry, but if you concentrate on it, you could actually see where you're at. If you're like, God forbid, kidnapped, pinhole camera can save your life.
Wow.
But at any rate, it's a very. Now we're going to come into the religious part of the show.
I wanted to, before we go knee deep into the eclipse, I wanted to just take a quick step back because we kind of touched on it, but I wanted to really touch on this event that happened because it's right. It's a few days after it happened, so I feel like it's worth the time here. And
Are we talking about the earthquake? I was going to tie that in.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm talking about the earthquake here. And we've been talking about earthquakes in the beginning of the cast, but I wanted to really just tie in this this news article here about what happened in New York.
2 days after the world was stunned by a catastrophic earthquake in Taiwan comes a quake right here in New York City. At 10:23 a.m., the Big Apple was rattled by a 4.8 magnitude earthquake with tremors felt up and down the East Coast from Philadelphia to Boston. Stephen Fabian has more on the quake that shook 42 million people.
Pause it.
New York City was stunned by a 4.8.
4.8.
Did you feel the earthquake?
No, I did not. Did you?
No, I didn't, but many people did here.
That's what I was hearing. Yeah,
many people felt the quake.
And at my job, at my career, a lot of people that I was talking to, a lot of businesses, have also felt it too.
It's very strange how my neighbors on both sides they felt it, but I didn't.
Really?
Yes, they felt it,
huh?
But I didn't. I even told my neighbor, maybe I have a strong foundation. Foundation is solid to this home.
Yeah, it is,
and it's old. They didn't build crap back in the day.
Right.
You understand? If you looking through the foundation of that we're in, because we're in the basement, it's all cinder block and cement. But people in Western Massachusetts, they definitely felt it. And it went from Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, all the way up, even to Boston felt it.
Yeah.
And even further up. But
So-
some people felt it, some people didn't, which it's surprising that, wait a minute. Another anomaly of this earthquake, it was the time that it happened. It happened at 10:23.
Isn't 10:23?
When I heard 10:23, immediately I started thinking of Bible verses.
Okay.
And I found some interesting Bible verses. Corinthians 10:23. I forget the other, but there's several, and they're interesting. How the earthquake is even biblical. So keep playing the clip of because they were aftershocks.
So I have here some information. I quickly typed this into our resident demon, Mr. Chat GPT. So the Bible, Bible has different verses and translations. However, one notable verse that comes from the New Testament is the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 23, which reads, turning to the disciples, he said privately, "Blessed are the eyes that see what you see." And we see some things, and this is what we talk about here in this podcast, that people, pull me aside and are like, what you doing? Don't stop. I can't talk to this about my family.
It's funny because yesterday, my whole ride yesterday and on Friday, everybody's got, has their take on the earthquake,
right,
on the eclipse. And then a gentleman walked into my car.
Mm-hmm.
He had a cross on his head.
Okay.
This gentleman really intrigued me. And I want my audience, if they know what in heaven's name this guy was talking about, I want in.
Which is?
First of all, this guy looked like Grizzly Adams.
Okay.
Okay, with I don't know if you have a picture of Grizzly Adams.
I'm gonna look one up. Okay.
He had a cross on his head. Right.
Uh-huh.
He looked just like that, just older.
Okay.
His beard was white. He had a cross on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, my spider senses are heightened.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now I have the conundrum. Should I ask what the hell is on his head? Should I ignore it? But the curiosity was just, it was burning within me.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, how you doing, sir? He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, how's your day? He's like, it's been good. I am happy that you're driving at night. I picked him up at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Perfect segue. Because my response is, well, sir, I am a vampire.
Okay.
Is what I tell everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They thank me for driving at night, and the first thing out my mouth is, I am a vampire.
Okay.
And I sleep during the day, and I come out at night.
Okay.
And that's what I told the gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, but right now I'm at a strange juncture. He's like, why might that be? And I tell him, well, tomorrow is gonna get dark. This was this morning actually. I said tomorrow is gonna get dark around 2:30 p.m. So I'm gonna be conflicted. I'm gonna want to exit my coffin because it's gonna be dark since I'm nocturnal. And then also, I'm a little uncomfortable because I have a problem with crosses. And I'm saying this very jovial. And you have that tattoo on your head, of a cross. He goes, no, it's not tattooed. I drew that cross on my forehead. Boom, he opened the door.
So I'm imagining like when you go to, what is it, Ash Wednesday? Yeah, like that,
Yes, but it looked perfectly drawn.
Okay.
Right? I thought it was a tattoo. So I go, sir, I hope you don't mind me asking.
Uh-huh.
But what is the significance of the cross on your forehead? And he said, oh, it's just a directive. Now I want to act like I understand. I want to act like I understand.
A directive.
It's a directive.
Okay.
And I'm like,
piqued my interest.
and I'm like, can you elaborate a little bit more? He's like, it depends on my situation and what I need to accomplish, because this is a directive. It's a signal. It's a sign to people in the know. And I'm like, okay. He goes, if I have more than one cross, either one on my forehead, one on either side of my hands, that's one sign. If I don't have on just one, if I just have one cross, that's another sign. So I was like, also, this is something very esoteric.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, ha, ha, ha. Good way of putting it. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like this is knowledge of the few. Good way to put it. I'm like, I want more.
Mm-hmm.
I want more. So
Can we get him on the cast, please?
So then I ask him, so what do you think of the eclipse and what's gonna, do you feel like this is biblical? He's like, no, it's not biblical at all. Okay. I want more. I want, I'm trying to like, I'm extracting something from this man that he does not want extracted.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so it's a directive.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, absolutely. It's a sign.
Is it a good sign? Is it a bad sign?
So I said, can you elaborate? I know I'm being redundant here, but can you elaborate on this directive? He shut me down. He said, no, I cannot elaborate any further. At that point, I'm at a stop already.
Okay.
He goes, thank you very much. Thank you for driving at night. Have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
He starts walking away, and I see that his jacket has an emblem in the back of a cross and a sun. Like it's the sun and the cross is in the middle.
Okay.
He walks away, enters his home. But on my way there, I got this eerie feeling like, what the hell is this guy up to? Like, directive. And he was like standing, when I picked him up, he was standing like, he was like doing some weird.
Anything like this?
No. More of like that, the blue cross.
Like this?
Yeah, it was just, the sun was, it was a circle of the sun. The cross is in the middle. That was what was on his jacket.
Okay.
So I don't know. This guy piqued my interest.
Okay.
Especially during like this time of the year where the eclipse, some people are taking it as, once in a lifetime thing. I'll never see this again, maybe in my lifetime, kind of a deal.
Right.
Some people are taking it, could this be the beginning of the apocalypse?
Okay.
Because
anything getting closer? Anything?
Keep going down. Let me see.
Nothing like this?
Yeah, like that. Like that.
Like this.
It was just that the sun was bigger than the cross, and the cross was in the middle of the sun.
Okay. Huh.
Like that one.
Like this one.
Yes, like that one. That's what he had in the back.
Okay.
That's what he had in the back.
Okay.
So he didn't tell me much. He just told me it's a directive.
Okay.
What does that mean? What is a directive?
Well, let's look it up. What?
So anyway, a very interesting fact.
A directive is an authoritative instruction, guideline, or decision from an official body that indicates how to perform an action. Directives can come from employers, governments, supervisors, judges, and other authority figures.
So what I skipped over was something that we got, that uncomfortable silence. Like, why do people have the need to just talk about bullshit when we can enjoy silence together. Pulp Fiction, you know?
Right.
But this was uncomfortable because I asked him a question and it was like I talked to myself. So I said, sir, are you like part of some type of fraternity? Nothing.
Okay.
So
All
I was
right.
like,
So we're in the land of fraternities. You got Connecticut and Massachusetts, both. You know, Yale and Harvard got some interesting fraternities.
So I don't know if he was maybe like some kind of Jesuit fraternity or, well, whatever the case may be, I started going down a rabbit hole. This guy set me off because I was so intrigued by the guy. The guy has a cross on his head. So immediately I drop him off and I'm like, I got to shut down for a couple of minutes. I got to do some research. And I start researching. And I come across, which totally, I went to Bible school. I wasn't such a good student in Bible school, but I had to do it because my parents wanted me to get my my confirmation and my communion done. I was one of the dudes that did everything in one day. So, but you went to a Catholic school. Are you familiar with the Day of Annunciation?
A Day of Annunciation. It sounds familiar, but let me look it up.
Well, I'll tell you what I've discovered. And I remember studying this. The Day of Annunciation is when...
Oh, on April 8th. What did you look at that?
Right. And this is what I found out. That the Day of Annunciation is the day when Gabriel presented himself to Mary and told her, you will be with child with the son, with the Son of God.
Right. It says
Right?
here, the Feast of the Annunciation is a Christian holiday celebrated on March 25th, also known as a Lady Day or Solemnity of Solemnity of Annunciation. It commemorates the angel Gabriel's visit to Virgin Mary and his announcement that she would give birth to Jesus Christ. The holiday is celebrated by many Christian factions, but is especially significant in Catholic, Orthodox, Anglican, and Lutheran churches, which a lot of Lutheran churches around here.
Yes, they are.
So why is it saying, if it's celebrated on March 25th, why is it saying?
Because this year is a leap year.
Right.
So it pushed the holiday
further back to April
forward
8th, to tomorrow.
Yes.
Huh.
So here comes my conspiracy theory.
Oh, it gives it further. The Feast of Annunciation is celebrated 9 months before Christmas. Is the Roman Catholic Church. The feast is celebrated on March 25th every year, except when it falls during the Easter Triduum, in which case it is moved to the most suitable day during Easter side. If the 25th falls on Holy Week or Easter week, the feast is postponed to the Monday after White Sunday.
The Feast of Annunciation is...
So today is White Sunday?
Yes.
Huh.
The feast...
What is White Sunday?
Well, let me finish this. The Feast of Annunciation is considered one of the 8 great feats of God's... Feast of God in Orthodox Christianity, and it's a major Marian feast.
Okay. What is White Sunday? White Sunday is a national holiday in Samoa that takes place in the second Sunday of October. Let's see.
It said it, Christianity. Right.
Christianity.
In Christianity,
Whit Sunday.
in Christianity, Whit Sunday is the name of the Christian holy day of
Pentecost,
which is celebrated on the seventh Sunday after Easter. The name is a contraction of White Sunday and may come from the ancient custom of wearing white robes at or after baptism. The name may also come from Anglo-Saxon word wit.
Oh, well, in that case, let me take off my blazer.
So I started thinking, people are scared because the signs of this year, there's a lot of synchronicity. Right? Out of all places where the epicenter of this earthquake could have been, it could have been in Moonachie, New Jersey.
Right.
Could have been in Jersey City. It could have been in Patterson. It could have been in your brother-in-law neck of the woods.
Mount Arlington or whatever.
He's in Mount Arlington. He's in Parsippany. It could have been in Parsippany.
Right.
Type in where was the epicenter of this earthquake.
Hold on.
Because this I find extremely fascinating.
Please sit tight and hold on to your pence and quid. Pablo Morado is trolling the internet for whatever topic they were just discussing.
Magnitude.
No, just type in where was the epicenter.
Jersey, Friday.
Go back up. Type in where in New Jersey was the epicenter of the earthquake.
All right.
And the answer will be fascinating. New Jersey. Put in New Jersey. Very important.
I did.
Oh, okay. Let's see what they say.
Let's see.
Light 4.8 magnitude earthquake struck New Jersey on Friday, United States. The quake was felt across New York City.
Oh, but of course. Keep reading. Continue. Okay. Come on. Of course. Hold on. Everything's a paywall these days. Well, you can get this cast completely for free. Everything else is a paywall. Let's see if we can find something here.
I think if you even Google it and if you search it in YouTube, they're gonna tell you.
All right. So, well, maybe the article that we have here might explain it. Let's see.
Because it's fascinating. Out of all places.
Let's
Out
see.
of all places.
8 magnitude earthquake
Yeah, this
that
might.
rattled the nation's largest city.
The entire building just moved.
This is crazy. Earthquake just shake Manhattan just now.
At the United Nations headquarters, the tremors interrupted a Security Council meeting on Gaza.
Education is...
You're making the ground shake.
Look,
Wow, Security Council meeting on Gaza happens.
the chandelier in this New York City home swung as the earth shook.
It felt like somebody was just shaking the house back and forth.
Networks interrupted programming with the breaking news.
Where we just had a 4.8.
And they're cheering.
They're cheering.
Estúpida.
Feel it?
It is The View, so.
Felt the earthquake.
WCBS meteorologist Lonnie Quinn came on the air in pajamas.
I am in my pajamas. I was sound asleep. Only out of bed here in Westport, Connecticut. I've been born and bred in Connecticut, and I have
That's your pajamas?
never felt anything like this.
Fox Business Channel studio shook during a live interview.
I've got to short because something very
Oh, look, I'm wearing the same outfit as this guy.
happened here in the New York area. Really unusual.
The earthquake's epicenter was in Lebanon, New Jersey.
Boom.
About 50 mi-
Lebanon.
Boom.
Lebanon.
Out of all places.
Lebanon, New Jersey.
Lebanon, New Jersey.
Hmm.
1023 at Lebanon, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember, I saw in my life, there's always synchronicity. Synchronicity follows me,
Mhm.
right? So, let me see something here. Number 16 on the Trello.
Okay. But you haven't finished your story with this guy.
He didn't tell me nothing.
So you didn't get any information?
Nothing. He shut me down when I said, "Are you part of a fraternity?"
Okay, but where'd you drop him off?
At his place of his dwelling, a regular apartment complex.
And where'd you pick him up?
At the casino.
At the casino.
And he was doing some strange hand gestures.
Huh.
So he made me dive into this
Mm-hmm.
as I'm preparing for today's show.
Right.
And play number 16 on the Trello.
Number 16. All right, hold on. Let me go find number 16.
Because the cross that he had on his head, he kind of fidgeted when I asked him. No, that's not it. Because what I want to look at is a video. Let me see. Keep going down.
No, that's number 16. Hold on. Let me pull more on the enunciation.
Keep going down.
All right, hold on. Let me go this way.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking that I'm going to see it on my screen.
Yeah, right here. Look.
Let me see number 89. Synchronicity. Harp. Go up a little bit. Hit number 11.
Number 11. All right. Is this it?
That's not it.
Eclipses and comets, things like that have always been.
Is that it?
No. Go back.
All right. Hold on.
That's just a little explanation on the eclipse.
All right.
Hit eclipse alignment.
All right. Here we go. Is this it?
Let me see. Pause. You see how it makes a cross?
Oh, this, and this.
Right.
Huh. Is that what you were looking for?
No, there's a girl who explains it better. Let me see if I find it. I should be more elaborate when I make these clips. Let me see if it's this one. Number 10.
Eclipses have been, and continue to be, seen as omens of ill fortune. The Greek historian Herodotus recorded an incident in which the Persian eclipses have ruler Xerxes interpreted an eclipse as a sign that his enemy.
Oh, you dropped off.
I took it off.
No, you dropped off.
I froze. See, every time we mention this eclipse, something's going on.
I don't know.
Something's going
Well,
on.
it's okay.
Folks.
We got our main feed here.
And my computer froze once again.
Interesting. Folks, please, we need some funds so that way we can have a better computer setup here. But yeah, this is fascinating. This whole eclipse thing. I mean, I think, let me see if I find here, but I'll put this up on the screen for everybody to see here what we were watching.
Seen as omens of ill fortune. The Greek historian Herodotus recorded an incident in which the Persian ruler Xerxes interpreted an eclipse as a sign that his enemies will be destroyed. The biographer Plutarch told how the Athenian leader Pericles made fun of his soldiers when they panicked at the sight of an eclipse by making a shadow with his cloak and asking if that was an omen too. A number of other historical deaths and disasters have been said to have followed an eclipse, which has led people to believe that eclipses are signs that some kind of disaster is coming. Seeing eclipses as bad omens is the result of confirmation bias. Human brains always look for patterns, so they notice when two things happen at the same time and ignore every time they don't. Eclipses aren't that rare in the grand scheme of things, and scientists have mapped out exactly where and when each one will occur for the next 1,000 years. If something bad happens to you, it probably has nothing to do with the solar eclipse, unless you look directly at it and damage your eyes.
Here, I'll put this up on screen.
Man, I had a good video where it shows that the way it looks, the way that the earthquake took the line and how the eclipse is coming towards us makes a cross.
Interesting. Well, there's a lot of things that I'm interested in, and this whole red heifer and bringing the Messiah back.
This is what the apocalypse, right? People are believing that this is
rapture.
The onset. I believe the rapture was COVID. You ask me.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
The
We
rapture
lost a lot of good people to the rapture.
Yes. So to COVID, not to the rapture, but
Well, if you're saying the rapture was COVID,
it could be.
All right.
So then the thing with this kid, what's his name? Aaron Bushnell, setting himself on fire.
Yeah.
In the name of Palestine. Right? October 7th is when Hamas.
Yep.
That to me was the impetus. Then we have the war. Then we have this kid setting himself on fire.
Right.
Which it just tingles my spider senses. And then we're waiting for this eclipse. Earthquake happens.
You know why I really believe that the Armageddon is about to occur?
Shoot.
Because of this statement right here.
And from one war to another, Ukraine is engaged in an uphill battle against Russia. Now, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that Ukraine will become a NATO member as support for the embattled country remains rock solid within the alliance. Ukraine has long sought NATO membership to gain international military backing and protect.
So this is Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, right? Now, listen to what he has to say here. Now, a lot of people don't know. I mean, we're following a lot of politics, and this is coming up. We're gearing up for an election, but check out what this guy Antony Blinken has to say.
Will become a member.
Summit in Brussels.
Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Our purpose at the summit is to help build a bridge to that membership and to create a clear pathway for Ukraine moving forward.
Now, you're very up on all this.
Mhm.
Why do you think that statement alone is the pathway to Armageddon?
Ukraine being part of NATO, right, would be catastrophic.
But why? For those that don't know, I like to hear.
Because if Ukraine becomes part of NATO, then we got to get involved against the Russians.
Well, yeah. I mean, for those that aren't aware, I have here a quick clip because we say NATO, but a lot of people aren't, aware of what the hell NATO is in the first place, right? There's a lot of people that are just totally oblivious to what NATO is. I mean, we say the term all the time, but people don't really know. So here's an explanation.
What is NATO, and why are the world's most powerful leaders suddenly so worried about it? Well, NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's a political and military alliance between North America and Europe that was born out of World War II and signed into effect in 1949. Its main aim back then, to push back against any future aggression from the Soviet Union.
The developments of the North Atlantic Pact may have been reflected in the recent changes in the Soviet High Command.
This became particularly important in 1955 when the Soviet Union and 7 other European countries signed the Warsaw Pact. Communism was spreading across Eastern and Central Europe, and this pact promised military support for Soviet satellite states. There were 12 original NATO member countries. Today, there are 28. 7 of those are former Warsaw Pact countries. Each member of NATO has an equal say in discussions and decisions. One of the most important principles of the NATO treaty is Article 5. It states that an attack on one country is in theory an attack against all members. In theory, all troops and equipment is available for NATO to use. That means there are 3.6 million active personnel and another 3.7 million in reserve. So if it really came down to it, 7.3 million NATO forces could be mobilized. But Article 5 has been invoked only once in its nearly 70-year history, the day after 9/11. It led to NATO action in Afghanistan. Collectively, NATO member states account for most of the globe's military spending, just under $1 trillion.
So that's the incentive, of course, the money. But what people don't realize is if you are a NATO country and you're attacked, then every other NATO member has to pool their resources and send personnel to fight against.
Absolutely.
So if Ukraine becomes part of NATO,
we have to get involved.
We're in war.
We're at war.
We're in World War III.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what Anthony Blinken, his directive was for us to
Am
bring.
I in studio yet?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
It's for us to bring.
Pull down my channel because I really am interested in this mute it.
Oh, mute it? Okay.
Yeah, that way I could, as you continue to unpack.
So with that being said, they want World War III, right? I mean, what other reason would you want to bring Ukraine into NATO other than knowing full well that this will mean World War III because they're currently in a war and they're finding a way to bridge NATO or Ukraine into NATO.
Right. And that's the first thing.
So that's World War III.
That Putin warned against.
That's the one thing that's the reason why Putin is in Ukraine to begin with. Aside from the fact that he says that there's Nazis and, horrible people living in Ukraine, in the Donbass region, that they were, terrorizing Russians for a long while. But what are they thinking? And then this video populates, and I think it goes along with, because, we're talking about World War III. Now, World War II, if we take a step back and look at World War II, this is an AI-generated recreation of what Hitler was saying to his people, because we hear in our English mind, when Hitler is talking to his people, we hear aggression, kill the Jews, when he's like, right. You know, we're thinking, oh my God, this guy's like saying we're gonna kill the Jews, we're gonna do this. But then if you actually hear the translation, it sounds eerily familiar. Check this out.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin.
In connection with the Jewish question, I have this to say. It is a shameful spectacle to see how the whole democratic world is oozing sympathy for the poor, tormented Jewish people, but remains hard-hearted and obdurate when it comes to helping them, which is surely, in view of its attitude, an obvious duty. The arguments that are brought up as an excuse for not helping them actually speak for us Germans and Italians. For this is what they say. 1, we, that is the democracies, are not in a position to take in the Jews. Yet in these empires there are not 10 people to the square kilometer, while Germany, with her 135 inhabitants to the square kilometer, is supposed to have room for them. 2, they assure us we cannot take them unless Germany is prepared to allow them a certain amount of capital to bring with them as immigrants. For hundreds of years, Germany was good enough to receive these elements, although they possessed nothing except infectious political and physical diseases. What they possess today, they have by a very large extent gained at the cost of the less astute German nation by the most reprehensible manipulations. Today, when the German nation was, thanks to the inflation instigated and carried through by Jews, deprived of the entire savings which it had accumulated in years of work.
Now, if you just replace the word Jews for migrants, right, for the migrants, how similar is this rhetoric that a lot?
Very similar.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy, and it doesn't sound like I mean, I'm not, for people that are listening. Don't get it twisted. I am no fan of Hitler.
Of course not.
But it doesn't. It loses its translation when it loses its oomph when you hear it in German, because you don't know what they're saying.
Right.
And it's like, kill the rats, kill these horrible people.
Right.
But when you listen to the translation, it's.
Now listen to this part of the speech here. Check this one out. Let me see.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin. You, my work for correctness. Whether you believe that I have been diligent, that I have worked, that I have advocated for you in these years, that I have been decent, I have spent my time in service of my people. Now cast your vote. If yes, then stand up for me as I have stood up for you.
Right? Stand up for me as I stood up for you. Now, that sounds like Trump.
Very different rhetoric when you hear it, the translation.
Now listen to Trump. Listen to this.
Remember, they are coming after me because I am fighting for you. That's what's happening.
Isn't that? I mean, let's go back. This is when you look through that, that's why they erase history, because they don't want us knowing this.
Right.
But listen to this.
That I have worked, that I have advocated for you in these years, that I have been decent. I have spent my time in service of my people. Now cast your vote. If yes, then stand up for me as I have stood up for you.
Stand up for me as I've stood up for you.
Right. And
Trump is like, what they're doing to me could
Always remember,
to you.
they are coming after me because I am fighting for you. That's what's happening.
Stand up for, what is it? Stand up Let's go back. What does he say?
Stand up for me as I stood up for you.
And he's saying,
they're coming after me
because I'm fighting for you.
Always remember, they are coming after me because I am fighting for you. That's what's happening.
Something strange is going on. Something very strange is going on.
The synchronicity is very, very similar.
And the fact that they want Ukraine in NATO is what really bothers me, because they're basically asking for World War III.
So tying all this in with the eclipse.
So that tying this all in with the eclipse is what I'm saying is,
do you know what's happening now? Right now we're at a heightened alert, because Russia bombed Syria and killed one of the big guys of Iran.
Wow.
And Iran has vowed vengeance against the Israeli people.
Now that brings me back to this, right? Iran vows vengeance, right?
Actor for Raytheon, which is a military.
Now let's hear who is in control of this DEW, this directed energy weapon, right? So let's see here.
Folks, we are living in strange times.
We're living in very strange. I mean, the argument could be made that Armageddon is on the horizon, because you got, the Muslims and Chinese people and all kinds of migrants coming in through the border. They're assaulting police and getting away with it, right?
Right.
You have people just trying to ban or defund the police, right? So there's no law and order, right? You have Venezuela emptying their prisons to send to the United States, and they're not accepting them back, right? You have Taiwan and United States at odds, fighting each other, throwing water missiles, water cannons rather, at each other. There's some tensions going on with China right now. You have tensions going on in the Holy Land of Israel, right? You have Muslims concerned about this whole red heifer thing. You have the war in Ukraine. You have Ukraine becoming part of NATO. You have all these things going on simultaneously.
You have the leader of the free world chastising the leader of Israel,
right?
Saying, dude, you got to step down.
Right.
Not supporting Israel.
You
have protesters here in the United States.
Isn't that crazy? Hold on. Didn't Hitler say that? That supposedly the democracy say that we have to support Jewish people, but they don't want to support them themselves? Didn't he just say that? Let me go back, because I feel like that's what he said. This is insane. This is insane. Let me pull that back up, because I think that's what Hitler was saying.
You have protesters here, protesting on behalf of Palestine.
People burning themselves alive, which is absolutely crazy.
We are witnessing history. Our grandkids and our great-grandkids will be talking about this year.
Let's just listen really quick. Again, we are no supporters of Hitler. What he did is absolutely disgusting. We are opposed to all sorts of war, genocide, but we're just
putting it where the goats can get it.
Yes, we're picking up what they're putting down. We're looking at these signs and symbols.
We're looking at, we're not glorifying
nothing.
Hitler. We're just seeing the
The truth.
Well,
what he's actually saying, because we couldn't hear it before. What is actually being said here?
Right. But what I'm saying is we're seeing the nasty effect of how this phrase history tends to repeat itself.
Yep.
So,
and what is the eclipse going to show? A circle. The circle of life.
Right.
Isn't that nuts?
It's really strange because we're right now trying to erase history.
Right.
To the point that AI produced by Google replaced all of our forefathers and
With black people
right,
and
with-
all kind, and then Asians and
right, and trying to change, sort of like 1984, changing history. If you change history, we're gonna produce another Hitler because we forgot of what he did.
Exactly. And that's where I mean, people are saying that, if Donald Trump gets elected, it's the end of the free world. And people are saying if Biden gets elected, it's the end of the free world. And then, the rational candidates that I thought, had a fighting chance, Robert F. Kennedy and Vivek Ramaswamy, both swept out of the race. But just really quickly, I just want to hear this again.
Italians. For this is what they say. One, we, that is the democracies, are not in a position to take in the Jews. Yet in these empires there are not 10 people to the square kilometer, while Germany, with her 135 inhabitants to the square kilometer, is supposed to have room for them. Two, they assure...
So he's saying that these democracies are saying, we can't take these Jews. Germany needs to take these Jews. When Germany is like, yo,
we're at capacity.
Yeah, like, come on, to share a little bit of the load here. Let's continue.
For us, we cannot take them unless Germany is prepared to allow them a certain amount of capital to bring with them as immigrants. For hundreds of years, Germany was good enough to receive these elements, although they possessed nothing except infectious, political, and physical diseases. What they possess today, they have by a very large extent gained at the cost of the less astute German nation by the most reprehensible manipulations. Today, we are merely paying people what it deserves. When the German nation was, thanks to the inflation accumulated in years of honest work, when the rest of the world took away the German nation's foreign investment, when we were divested of the whole of our colonial possessions, these philanthropic considerations evidently carried little noticeable weight with democratic statesmen. Today, I can only assure these gentlemen that thanks to the brutal education with which the democracies favored us for 15 years, we are completely hardened to all attacks of sentiment. After more than...
Now, let's go back, because I think he says it a little bit further back here.
Meine Arbeit.
I have this to say. It is a shameful spectacle to see how the whole democratic world is oozing sympathy for the poor, tormented Jewish people, but remains hard-hearted and obdurate when it comes to helping them, which is sure...
When it comes to helping them, hard-hearted when it comes to helping them. And what happens, like now, this is happening right now. When Hamas had, killed a lot of Jewish people. Now people are on both sides, free Palestine. People are saying, the Jewish people are at fault here, that, they're not backing Jews to the point where even Biden is not even backing Netanyahu, right?
But even further than that.
So he's saying that the whole democratic world has supposedly sympathy for the Jews, but they have no room to help them.
Okay, but let's unpack.
I didn't even hear this before. This is new to me. I'm just shocked that that's what he was saying.
Let's unpack this. Wow. Let's replace Jews for the immigrants, right? He is saying exactly initially what a lot of people here in the United States are saying. You're letting all these people in when we are struggling ourselves, and then we, the taxpayer, have to flip the bill and pay these guys hotels, free meals, and a monthly.
Right. So
where's the sympathy for us, the Americans?
That's wow, that's crazy. So what happened in Germany back then is happening with the migrants in the United States, where Texas is like, that's not our problem. Send them to New York.
Yeah,
Send them
you
deal with. You have the infrastructure for that.
No, they're saying the reason that it's not because of the infrastructure.
It's because they're supposedly
sanctuary cities.
Right.
You want these people. You want to have open borders, but I'm affected.
Right.
So I'm taking these people and I'm sending them to you.
Right.
Right? Like what the people in Texas put the immigrants, the governor of Texas took the immigrants, put them on a bus, sent them to Martha's Vineyard, right? And what happens, right? When they arrive, Larry David, Barack Obama, right, and other rich people in the area,
right,
had a truck full of sandwiches, right? Oh, yes, you're welcome. Here's sandwiches. Here, stuff your face. I know you guys are hungry. Have this, have this, have this. For the camera, right? The minute the cameras went down, they put them on a bus and got them the hell out of Martha's Vineyard. Right?
Right.
So, again, we're not condoning what Hitler did, but we're just seeing the similarities of what Hitler was doing at his time, and now what's happening here
in our time. It's unbelievable.
Like
how similar
another
they
thing
are.
is almost to the same thing. And remember, people don't bring this up too much in history lessons, right? Boatloads of Jews left Germany. They didn't have where to go, right? United States said, we're not taking them. Not us. A lot of countries said, we don't want them. You know who took them in?
Palestine.
The Dominican Republic.
Oh, really?
Took a big shipment of Jews, right? And I think that Trujillo took these Jews in because there was an incentive, money incentive involved.
Sure there was.
So it's hard.
Political incentive. Probably.
It's hard to hear, that what happened during World War II, here we go many years later with a different people, is happening in the United States. And it could be dangerous. This is why there are talks of civil war. Because, my God, how much can we stand?
Right.
We're flipping the bill. And they get all the benefits. They get with child, they don't have to pay. It's all the taxpayers that are paying for this. So the similarities between what went on in World War II and what's going on now, it's scary. It's scary because this is the recipe. If you look at World War II and you see the progression of how Hitler came to power, Hitler went to jail. They persecuted him.
And that's exactly what's going on with Donald Trump.
Yeah, he went to jail. They persecuted him.
They're building up Hitler.
And he persevered. He continued. No matter how much they put down Hitler, he came back stronger and stronger. And no matter what they did to him, he would come back because his message was strong to the German people who were struggling. So now we fast forward, and who's getting persecuted? All these charges, all these things, and he just gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. History is repeating itself.
Yeah.
And 2024 is the culmination. So, not to veer off the topic, going back with the guy with the cross on his head that stepped into my car. And then I stumbled on the Annunciation. It dawned on me. What if, now this is just me spitballing. What if this is the abomination of the Annunciation? For example, now the Annunciation is April 8th, right? Because of the way the year was structured. On the day of the eclipse, right? Could it be someone on earth will be with child? With the Antichrist.
I don't know.
And day of Annunciation, the devil loves to mock God. We know this. Right? So what better day on a day of the eclipse? Now he gets his version of Jesus Christ.
Right.
The false prophet. So that guy in the car led me to this, the Annunciation, and maybe that what is happening is the bringing on of the Antichrist, that maybe somewhere on this planet, somebody's with child, like in Rosemary's Baby. So we have that. But then you have more anomalies with the eclipse. You have CERN turning on their Hadron Collider on April 8th. They announced it. They're going to turn it on while the eclipse is happening. One, NASA shooting up rockets into the eclipse on April 8th. You got biblical stuff. Cicadas.
Yes.
Are going to come out.
Trillions of
by
them.
the trillions.
By the trillions.
Because the synchronicity of two, I forget what you call them.
Locusts?
No, there's two broods. There are two broods of cicadas.
Oh, yeah, cicadas. Right.
That are dormant deep beneath the earth. The way it happens is one brood comes out.
Then the other one.
Then later on, in a couple of years, the other brood comes out. But on this particular year, both are going to come out. And they will be trillions of them. I've been watching this thing with Moses. It's sort of like the locust.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's a very creepy. Tomorrow's going to be very creepy.
Yes.
Because not only is that happening, supposedly there's like a hole in the sun. And from that hole, all these flares are coming out of the sun that could impair things working here on Earth. Right? So you got cryptic warnings. Gas up your car. Make sure you have a full refrigerator. Make sure you have water.
Yes.
All these things on the day of the eclipse. So it's a very, very strange event that's happening tomorrow. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue.
Yeah.
And I always,
it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
I was putting the pieces together with that movie, The Seventh Sign.
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, look for on YouTube. Look for the trailer of The Seventh Sign.
Well, I'm looking for that. Check out. This is going into what we were talking about before. FAA issues travel warnings as solar eclipse date nears.
Oh,
Exactly, we're counting down.
Pause it. They also, please don't be on the road.
Something's going on.
Don't go out. And they say why? It's because the animals are gonna they're gonna be confused. So nocturnal animals such as possums, such as bats, creatures that go bump in the night,
right,
will come out because they think it's nighttime. So you got the propensity on the road to hitting one of these animals as they confused, right? Deer might come out. All these animals are all confused. They don't know what's going on. I've heard that during eclipse, even the zoos, they go batshit crazy.
Now, as we're building this up, how different is this event to the buildup of the 2012 Mayan calendar, the Y2K incident? How much different is it between what happened in like everyone was panicking and worried about Y2K, and everyone's panicking and worried about the end of the world in 2012?
See, the thing is with Y2K, there wasn't so much synchronicity. That is the problem. During 2012, I didn't hear much synchronicity
as we do today. And that's what makes this
the only
time.
the only synchronicity I remember were all these blood moons during 2012. But I was even listening to Art Bell yesterday. It was from 1998. And they had a guy predicting that 10 to 20 years from that date, which that show aired in 1998, that earthquakes were going to be a thing all throughout the world. Places that never received earthquakes will be receiving them. So the synchronicities, and then with not only do you have cicadas coming out, you have people burning themselves. To me, that is like when you got like something like you ever had taken a haircut and that
itchy feeling, yeah.
Hair that you'd be like, I had to just go home and take a shower. This hair's
right.
That event of that gentleman lighting himself on fire, my spider senses is like, why does, again, it reminds me of the seventh sign, where
I have it here, and for that event for you,
I was getting somewhere with that. We're forgetting that while all this is going on, war, biblical signs, people setting themselves on fire, the synchronicities of the path making a cross.
Oh man, I just got chills.
The synchronicities of the path of the eclipse as what with the path of the earthquake, it makes a cross through the United States. All these things are happening. Cosmic alignments, where Mercury is in retrograde, which is never good. All these things, and then you have the mother of dragons also within our vicinity. The devil
Devil's
comet.
Yeah.
My God. What else?
Right.
Then you have the earthquake happening at 10:23. Biblical verses are like it's like the Lord is saying, do I really have to come out and say, this is God?
Yes.
I'm giving you all the signs, dude. I'm giving you all
everything that you're looking for. You're getting it.
Yeah.
And you know, just like the burning of the man, the man that burned himself, right? That is your itch. That's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
My itch goes all the way back to 2018 when I was working in a trading room floor, and you hear tickers going by, do, and all these things, and they say, this just in, the Israeli space chief says that the Galactic Federation exists and Donald Trump knows about it. That has been my itch. Like, why did they just say this and nothing came of it, right? Why did he just flat out say, I mean, of all the things to raid, Donald Trump's house for, I want that document. Give me that document. Show me that the Galactic Federation exists and aliens do exist and we don't know about it because of X, Y, and Z. I want to see that document. That to me is, why did they come out with this? What in the world did this Israeli guy, and of all places for it to come out of, Israel. And then now looking back at it, posing it with Hitler, what did Hitler was obsessed with? The occult, going into outer space and all these things, creating the bell, creating all these crazy technologies, anti-gravity and all these things that Indiana Jones explored. It's a little weird. It's beyond weird. And supposedly, if you go down the rabbit hole of finding, the guy with the, what's his name, the guy with the crazy hair, that my sister says that's her boyfriend. Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Tsoukalos.
They say that German U-boats, were the first, before even rockets into space. German U-boats were the first things ever to enter space, because they had this anti-gravity technology from the bell.
And they were pressurized.
They were perfect for space travel. And they were nuclear based, so they could extend life out. They could live in space for years at a time, 40 years.
And then and another, now that you bring that up.
So these things are they're too eerily the same. It's so crazy.
I bumped into something else as I was doing research for today.
And when Trump, blonde hair, does he have blue eyes?
I never really.
Oh my God, this is nuts.
No, and check this out.
Oh my God.
I bumped into this thing that this guy and one of my writers said. He's like, you know what? All this bullshit that when the eclipse happened, don't look up at the sun because you're going to go blind. You're going to go blind. This guy in my car said, that's all bullshit. You can look up there, but what they don't want you to see is that when the sun gets blocked out by the moon, you're going to see that there's a mothership up there.
Oh, shit.
Hovering above the firmament.
Oh, my.
Because we're encased in a bubble. And you're going to see the reflection of the ship as it hovers above the firmament. And he goes, and if you don't believe what I'm saying,
oh my God,
look at the Bible. It says we have a firmament.
Oh my God, check this out. Donald Trump's is 6'3" with blue eyes and blonde strawberry hair. Yo, blue eyes and blonde hair. This is nuts. So he's a member of the Aryan race.
And
oh my God. And his party is the Republican Party, which is red, which is what this is nuts.
And his
his
great uncle was one of the guys involved with the Tesla and all this stuff.
Yeah. Like yo, this is insane.
No, and the more you unpack,
oh my, and then we're the crazy people for putting this out there. We're the,
I mean, this is this is a thing that I was, discussing with my wife. We're under the
my mind is blown, by the way.
we're under the misconception that we got freedom of speech.
Right.
We technically don't have freedom of speech anymore.
No.
So what we're doing here is exercising
our freedom of speech. And the thing is, one thing that came out recently that was just the final, like, not the final straw, because there's been so many straws to break this camel's back. But, this whole thing on Nickelodeon, this Quiet on Set.
Put up my channel.
Oh, okay.
Because I want you to, because you're depicting Donald Trump as a potential.
Well, that's what not me. That's what the Democratic Party is saying, that he is going to be the end of the democracy. That he is, Hitler incarnate, essentially.
So this is what I'm thinking when you brought up Donald Trump. One of my favorite songs.
Oh, man.
You know this song?
No, I don't know this.
Listen to the words. Come on, you know this song.
Might hit me, just give me a second. I like it already, though.
You know who this is.
Oh, it's Cranberries.
Yes.
I don't think I've heard this. Electric Blue Eye.
Who sent you? Guys, you got to join the cast, folks. If you're listening to the cast through Facebook, go over here.
That is a part of this theory of
go right there. Instagram or Paranormal Experience. The angel.
To win over society on a single group in the interest of attaining absolute.
Absolutely, and it provided Hitler with an easy way to blame the many ills of Germany in 1924, which was Jewish people as well as some others, but it was mainly Jews. And for Donald Trump as
stand for me like I stood for you. They're coming after me because I'm protecting you.
This is insane.
This is a very strange time. We are witnessing history, folks. folks. Oh, we got Dominic online. Go to Instagram at Paranormal Experience as we unpack the eclipse, folks.
Mr. Trump responded to that criticism and also the criticism that he's Hitler-esque, like asking voters to raise their right hands in a pledge of support. Here's what Mr. Trump said.
Sometimes we'll do it for fun, and they'll start screaming at me, do the swearing, do the swearing. I mean, they're having such a great time.
Look at that. Wow.
I get, honestly, until this phone call, I didn't know it was a problem. I'll certainly look into it. I mean, I'd like to find out that that's. I certainly look in because I don't want to offend anybody, but I can tell you that it's been amazingly received.
All right.
Now you want to hear it.
And and up until Donald Trump, let's be honest, has been on our suspect board for a while, but in comparison to Joe Biden, we have always said that we don't want that option of Joe Biden because he's just as bad as an evil as as.
Can you do me a favor?
My God,
you mentioned Donald Trump, his blue eyes, his strawberry hair, right? The chorus to
look at this. Look how many people are joined our cast.
The chorus to that I just played from the Cranberries, right? Is Domine Deus. Domine aduva me. Can you get the translation of that?
Okay, so what's the name of the song?
Electric Blue Eyes.
Okay. That's crazy.
I don't know why this song came to me. But when you said Donald Trump has blue eyes, immediately I started going to Electric Blue Eyes because it's a haunting tune.
Let's see.
Domini Deus. What does that mean?
Let's see.
Does that mean that this is God's dominion?
Let's see. Or is it Electric Blue? Is that what it is?
Electric Blue Eyes by the Cranberries.
Okay. So full lyrics here. Domine aduva. Let's just copy this.
Dominic, what you going to be doing during the eclipse tomorrow? Are you driving? Are you staying home? Do you have your eclipse glasses? You need these if you're going to look up at the sun. Or you could chuck them and look up and see if you can see the firmament and the mothership that's hanging above the firmament.
Wow, look at this. Lord, Lord God, Lord help me. Lord, Lord God, Lord help me.
And it just hit me.
Lord help us.
And then
if you're out there, God, please keep us in your favor.
Yes.
One thing I was hearing that really gave me shivers, that supposedly in the Muslim mentality, that hell is not a place unless you are deserving it for it to be like an eternal hell. Hell is supposed to be a place where you burn off your sins, where you sit and you burn off your sins in hell. So you stay there for a period of time so that you can purify and ascend into heaven.
I'm not a Quranic scholar by any stretch of the never.
So this was told to me by a person that is a Muslim. That because we were like going back and forth because he's Muslim and I'm Catholic in upbringing, but I've said that since of my government name, I've been kind of forced to kind of look at the whole, and I think that's what our Lord and Savior would do as well. He would look at Hinduism as people and Buddhists and everybody else. You have to look at everyone's faith and as a whole, and come to the terms of that everyone's trying to define God in their own way, right? So that's how I look at religion. I'm not pigeonholed to being Catholic or Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, but there's a lot of things that we can't discount. 7 or however many billion people that believe in Hinduism and all these other things, right? So they have a belief in a higher power, especially Muslims and stuff like that. So my mind is open. I'm open to different interpretations and things of that nature. And we were going back and forth, and that was one thing he had told me. He was like, "Oh, your Catholic vision of hell is different than what we're told. What we're told, unless you have done something egregious that you deserve an eternal hell, hell is a place where you go to burn your sins off so that you can ascend into heaven."
Interesting.
Let me see.
But this verse of this song, if you should go, you should know I love you. If you should go, you should know I'm here. Always be near me, guardian angel. Always be near me. There's no fear. I mean, this is the anthem for the eclipse tomorrow. If there isn't one already. Domine Deus.
Yeah, see, according to the Quran, hell is a place where sinners suffer to purge the evil effects of their deeds done in this life for spiritual advancement.
But that sounds scary as well.
Yeah, but it makes sense, right? You go down there and you burn off all your evil sins so that you can finally be pure.
But is in the Quranic hell,
it says here,
is there a devil?
There is a devil.
And he lets you go.
Well, you see, the difference, again, according to what this guy that I was conversing with, the difference between our view of the devil and their view of the devil is Catholic Christian faith views the devil as the king of the underworld, right? He is the opposite of God and below.
The
right?
abomination.
The abomination. But the way they see it, as he is a prisoner, he is not king of anything. He is a prisoner to hell.
He's a prisoner in hell.
He's a prisoner in hell. He has no control, no dominance, nothing.
But this is the thing. In the Catholic faith, he is also a prisoner in hell.
Yes.
But
he's also ruler. Like he has dominions and things that people he can control. In their view, he is just like another prisoner and locked away in solitary confinement. He has no power. He has nothing. He's just banished.
Oh, so he doesn't have the ability to tempt you.
Yeah, he has no abilities. He has nothing. He has no power.
This is what I find so scary about the apocalypse, is that at one point, those voices that you hear from the deepest caverns of the Euphrates.
Yeah.
Those are the... Yes, folks. These are the... They lowered a microphone into the deepest caverns of the drying up Euphrates River. They found a cavern. They lowered a microphone. Now listen well.
You hear it in the beginning, the shackles, the chains.
Yeah, the shackles. So at one point in Revelations, that pit is going to be open and the devil will have dominion over earth.
Right.
Now we digress.
Yeah, but look, really quickly, it just says here, look, the Quran also states God will judge each person in their deeds, and those who have lived righteously will go to heaven, while those who have not will go to hell. However, the purpose of suffering in hell is not punishment, but rather a spiritual advancement. In the afterlife, Muslims and non-Muslims will eventually be taken out of hell, even those who have never done any good deeds. So the whole purpose of it is to hell is a place where sinners suffer to purge the evil effects of their deeds done in this life.
Sort of like a rehab.
Yeah, like a rehab.
You go down there, you get cleansed of all your sins, and then once you are deemed worthy, you can now ascend from the pit and enter heaven.
It's crazy enough because we're bringing everybody back. We're circling and circling. The red heifer, what's the purpose of the red heifer? To cleanse the the Jews. It's a cleansing, right? And what do you have to do? You have to burn it, right? It's a cleansing.
You gotta sacrifice the heifer,
and you have to
burn it, and then those ashes you spread them, right?
Right. So something about fire is a cleansing, and to sanitize something. What if you put a blade in edge of a blade in fire? It sanitizes it, right?
Right.
So that's what we're doing. We have all this sin, this bacterial growth over us, this spiritual negativity over us, and we go into
spiritual sludge,
and we go to hell to burn it off so that you can feel lighter and you can ascend. We have this weight of sin on us. But, so Jesus died, was crucified, died, and was buried to give us the pathway to heaven. That way we didn't have to go to hell. But the Muslims feel like...
But let me tell you this.
Crazy.
In going back to the eclipse, right? Mm-hmm. This is the eclipse extravaganza, folks. Right?
And a bombshell podcast it has been so far.
So, being that this is the eclipse extravaganza, this is how do you call it? A PSA, a public service announcement. Uh-huh. Dudes and dudettes, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, mm-hmm. we deserve it.
Right.
We as a human species deserve it. Because, let's be frank, the Bible says it. Knock it off. Knock it off. I have inundated the planet. Uh-huh. I have burned it down. I even sent you my beloved son.
So you can knock it off.
And then what happens? Right? We glorify people like Pete Diddy, right?
Right.
Oh, this guy's a genius. He has good music. But then you find out that what has been going on with this dude, aside from the music business,
right,
is
just continue. It's just too much.
He's abusing and trafficking young people. And you see Pete Diddy with all these beautiful, even, for Christ's sake, he was dating Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
Come to find out that in these parties, which, Cat Williams said, I was always wanted to be that celebrity that wanted to be invited to Now, quoting verbatim, I'm not being, but he said, once I finally got invited, finally was there, and I go into one of these rooms, and he goes to his boy, yo, there's two niggas kissing. Homosexuality, debauchery, and to come to find out, P. Diddy's like doing all this shit.
Right.
You know, sexual debauchery, trafficking of young women and young men. We thought Jeffrey Epstein was bad, but this guy's right up there. Now, the reason I bring him up is because he's in the headlines. You know, he's virtually gotten busted, right? But guess what? P. Diddy, Jeffrey Epstein, and all those demons, what are they? They're human beings.
Yeah, they're human beings. Yeah.
They're human beings. And what's come to light is that as of lately, they want to erase the word God.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't want God in the mix anymore.
No. Well, when you put Baphomet in your state capital and you celebrate being transgender, I mean, I hate to say this because you know what? Everybody's a human being, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry. If you believe whatever faith that you believe in, you have to come to terms with the fact that mutilating your body to be somebody else is not human.
And then the zombie in the White House decides that, I'm going to say it, Transgender Transparency Day falls on Easter? On Easter?
Visibility Day, yeah.
Yeah. Transgender Visibility Day.
And he has more to say about that than he does have to say about Easter. And then you have this.
Jada was the woman that everybody wanted, and Will.
Going back to what you were saying about what you find in parties, you find this.
You saw her say that Will had a small dick. I am saying to you, if a woman is used to something the size of a baby leg, and you
this is not. This is not
what the
That's not what I meant to say. Put up, but that's the same guy. Yeah,
Cat Williams. He's very transparent. He's like, dudes, the things I've seen at these mansion parties are insane. Then I couple that with what David Chappelle said. He's like, dude, they took me to a place, and now I'm putting the pieces together. He might have been with P. Diddy that day.
Who knows? Well, this is what I meant to say.
You see the hundreds of celebrities that I've done business with, done things with, and during the last saying to you, if a woman is used.
No, this is not it. What the hell? Why are they taking it down? It's the guy, but it's not the. Well, in any case, he was like that he walked in on Will Smith, and he was having sex with Dwayne Martin. And here it goes. Let's see.
Welcome to Trivia Time.
Oh boy. Come on. You know when you want to play something right away and it's just not the one that
But David Chappelle, he's like, I went to one of these places and they open up the doors.
And what the hell does he have all over the is that phones?
They look like upside down wine bottles.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right. There are upside down wine.
So back to David Chappelle. He's like, they told me, enjoy what this place has to offer.
Right.
And he was like, no, thank you.
Right.
No, thank you.
Share and subscribe to our channel.
Oh, come on. Just freaking play the clip already.
Bilal claimed he once caught Smith having anal sex with actor Dwayne in the latter's dressing room. He recounted an incident where he was trying to find Smith, only to discover him engaged in anal sex with Martin. Smith has
Oh, come on. Just give it to me. Ugh. Why do they do this? Why did it make it so impossible?
But we more or less saw what.
We saw it, but for those people that haven't seen it, I mean, because we're always maybe here. Why do they always do it? Here we go.
And that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him, murder. And that's when I.
He was killing him. He was murdering
him. Yeah.
So
that's what goes on. And you know what?
And all these people, I'll tell you, I'm guilty of this.
Mm-hmm.
The lottery goes up to 1.3, 1.5. I'm the first one out there playing the lottery ticket so that I could be, have a chance,
Mm-hmm.
To become a billionaire, or at least, when it's all said and done, cash value, I'll be having maybe above $500 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I really want that? Do I really want that?
I don't know. I mean, I think if you are within yourself, like you're satisfied and happy, because what I've learned in this path that I've been, pursuing to be financially successful, one thing I've learned is that money does not inherently make you evil. It amplifies your character. So if you are an evil person, it's going to amplify that. If you are a good person, it's going to amplify that. And sometimes what happens is on the pursuit to obtaining money, you exchange your character for the money, which is what
you cross the line, you go through that threshold.
Right, which is what what's his name? Dave Chappelle was warning about. Don't compromise your character
absolutely
for the dollar. But this here, art imitates life, right? And this is, you have what you call it, Eyes Wide Shut. You have the other movie, what's it called? The one about the Hollywood, what's it called?
The one with Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, what's that one called? Something with a P.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, not Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's also a Brad Pitt, but this one is Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie. Well, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood also has Margot Robbie. Hold on. I think it's called Paramore.
I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen both of those movies, actually.
Yes, you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yes. That's the one. Yes, I did see it.
Yeah. Let me see. Brad Pitt.
That's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about. The one of Hollywood in the early 1940s, right? 1930s, 1940s, something like that.
Yeah, it's about the Tate murders.
No, that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
I mean the one you're talking about.
Yeah, about the start of Hollywood,
right? Which is set in like the 1930s, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was Brad Pitt in that movie.
Yeah, Brad Pitt is in that movie.
Let's see. No, I definitely know it's Margot Robbie. Let me just see. Oh my God, I forgot the name of the movie. Babylon.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, and Brad Pitt is in that movie as well. So you have Babylon, you have Eyes Wide Shut, you have all these movies that are showing you what goes on behind the scenes. And then this show, I didn't think I mean, I did put the connection together, but they're saying the way we idolize Hollywood and famous people, we look at them as superheroes, right? Like these are our superheroes. We idolize them because they're our like the way you look up to Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's what do you call that? Not an idol. What do you call that? There's a word I'm looking for. I need my brain boost. But you know what I'm mean.
Yes.
Like when you
sort of like your hero,
but there's a word for that. Not your hero. There's like when you look up to them, they're your I forgot what's the word. When you look up to somebody, what do you call that?
I'm trying to like get the word.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
There is that word.
To someone.
But yes, folks, you're tuning in to the Paramount Podcast, the Eclipse Extravaganza. I cannot stress enough. You must have these. Make sure that they're certified. They must be certified. You can look at the brand, and there is a website where you can see if they're verified for actual eclipse viewing.
Anyway, I can't seem to find it.
Your
here.
idol.
Yeah, kind of like your idol, right? You idolize these people. Like, oh, I want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, I want to be like P. Diddy, or oh, I want to be like Eminem, or whoever is out there. You know, and this little scene here is exactly what goes on. This is what they're finding. What you just described about what happens in P. Diddy's parties. This is it. It's not as much as it is Eyes Wide Shut, because Eyes Wide Shut is more masquerade-esque, right? I feel like this is what you find when you go to a P. Diddy party, right? So you go, you try to infiltrate it, and this is what you find here.
No, I'll do if you do.
You just say you were police?
Yeah, I called Fed oversight request.
All right, you get invited into the party. This is what Cat Williams saw, and he's like, I'm not a part of it. Look.
Holy shit. Take your jaw up off the floor.
What's going on?
Place where the soups can scratch that filthy little itch without the paps taking snaps.
Wait. That's Ezekiel. For Christ guy? Preaches all that pray the gay away shit.
Now he's the meeting the man rich. You hypocrite. Keep going forward.
So, in context in this show, this is called The Boys, right? And you know, everybody in the show idolizes the superheroes. You know, they're looking up to them like role models. That's the word I was looking for.
Role model, right? Role model. Okay.
They're looking up to them. You know, all these kids want to be like them. They're looking up to them like role models. And behind closed doors, the one guy that you saw that got stretched, apparently he's like this Jesus guy, and he's like preaching, pray the gay away kind of a thing. Meanwhile, he's making out with guys, having a foursome, it seems like, stretching his body.
Again, in the Bible, and I'm no Bible scholar. I want people to know I'm not a Bible scholar. By any means. I just like to browse through it from time to time.
You know what? When you read it, it's actually quite fascinating.
It is. Once you get past the language.
Yeah.
Because the language could be a little tricky.
Yeah. But once you start getting into it, it actually is quite fascinating.
Sodom and Gomorrah, we're living through it right now.
Right.
We're living through it. God said this is not good for you. It's not good for your soul. Don't do it.
Right. And this is what we celebrate. LGBTQ, the rainbow flag. And you'd rather replace the rainbow flag or the American flag with the rainbow flag and all these
But
other
it goes
things.
beyond the LGBTQ, because you could be straight, you could be heterosexual, whatever it is. But once you get into these places and it's not the sexual debauchery that's troubling in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you peel that onion,
it
gets worse because you can see that they're part of a cult. They do sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
They take it to a level that it's even beyond the sex.
Right. It's like peeing on somebody. It's like watching somebody
mock sacrifices, like in the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, it's all sorts of weird things, like
ingesting adrenochrome and
in blood.
Yeah, it's like, and if he warned you, don't do this. And now we got all these synchronicities when it comes to the eclipse,
and
the
now
cicadas, the guy burning himself, 1023 Bible verses, the CERN. I mean, we're trying to get the God particle again, synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
You're shooting up in Antarctica these what do you call them? Those
direct energy weapons.
Direct energy weapons. We're messing. That's like the Ouija board.
Yes.
To open realms and dimensions and things that you do not understand. Don't mess with the Ouija board.
Right.
You don't understand.
And don't mess with the Ouija board. And I was mentioning this before, but one thing that I was again, it's not the straw that broke the camel's back, because it was it's been way past the pale. Now everything that I thought of when I growing up, and I think the same is for you. Everything that you thought of growing up was one thing, turns out to be a totally different thing. The war in Vietnam, JFK assassination, Hugh Hefner, Hollywood, even Nickelodeon, right on set.
Disney, for
even Disney, so like
it's debauchery and all that stuff.
So like, growing up, when I was watching, shows on Nickelodeon, thinking one thing, I would love to be an actor to be like one of these kids. Little did I know the torture.
Even Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's debauchery in that.
So I was like becoming an adult and having
all
kids
the
of my own.
innuendos in SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah. He was watching porn, for crying out loud. And I knew it then. Because he's watching a real, because it was a real sponge, like an actual life-like sponge. He was watching on his TV, and he's like, oh, and his little cat comes in. He's like, oh, I was looking for the sports channel, Gary.
So
everything is about sex. Everything is about, everything that we see, that I was watching. And this is why the mainstream media is flailing, because they had such a grip on our mind. That's why they were programming you.
Absolutely.
And we didn't even, we were so like blind to it that we would watch and we would be entertained. Not, the boob tube, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you said the same thing about the radio and all this other. But it was right. They were right. Those people that were going to spoil your mind, well, Now our mind. Now we're in the healing process.
One of the most popular presidents to ever, go into the White House, in my opinion, was John F. Kennedy, and even him was involved in a bunch of debauchery.
Right. I mean, him and Marilyn Monroe and all. I mean, that's another question I have. He was married, wasn't he?
Jacqueline.
Yeah. So then, this whole scene that everyone makes fun of, when Marilyn Monroe sings the song,
Mr. President.
How did this just get?
That was just a smack in the face.
Like, and then there's a Zapruder film of him getting his head blown off. I watched that on YouTube the other day. It scarred me because this is like Faces of Death. I'm watching this guy.
You cannot say the cuckoo on TikTok or any other platform.
Or you could watch a man get his head blown off.
His head blown off. Absolutely.
And it was horrific to see that and they make it seem like a magic bullet that he got shot once, but you see that he's sitting in the car. He's like he got shot in the neck, and then another shot blows his head off. It's unbelievable.
If you study the Zapruder film,
don't you believe that there was a magic bullet?
It was more than one shooter.
That's mainstream theory that there was a magic bullet, and they have Seinfeld episodes of making light of, it was a magic bullet in the spit and whatever, and you laugh about it now.
And was it
back
into the left?
But that's not what happened. It's just he had a head. And it just blown off.
And then
you see a full head and a head.
You could show this video to the dumbest man on the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the deep over here.
I mean,
you see,
there's just so much synchronicity and craziness.
You see Jacqueline go backwards. She doesn't duck under the seat. She goes backwards. Why? Because she saw the other gunman. She saw where the bullet was coming from. And that bullet was not coming from the direction that Lee Harvey Oswald was.
I'm not going to put this on screen for everybody to see because it's just too disturbing. But I saw this. And it's absolutely, I mean, this is, you see, look, you see, he right here, he's grasping at his neck. Look, he's grasping at his neck. Whoa. You seen that?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a head anymore. He got half a head. I mean, this was put on screen on late night TV. I didn't even know this. This was put on screen on late night, one of these late night talk shows by a comedian of all people to put this up on screen by.
And this is what humans do to each other.
And not only that, but what happened, why it happened, who did it is locked up. It's national security that we can't know. And then we just make light of it. We make fun. We do jokes and this and that. But what happened?
Same thing with NASA. We went to the moon several times. Now we're attempting to go back. Why can't we go back? We can land rocket on an asteroid, collect a sample, bring it back to Earth, but we cannot go to the moon.
We could go to Saturn.
But why can't we go on the moon? Now, when there's more technology. So you dive deep, and what does NASA say? Oops, we lost the blueprint.
Plans.
And we got to
lost the plan.
swallow this.
And the guy that got us to the moon was a Nazi? Isn't that crazy?
So
all right, let's go back to the eclipse.
and-
I have a clip here for the eclipse here, because you're talking about the synchronicity, and this guy's talking about major events surrounding the April 8th solar eclipse here.
Okay, let's do it.
So, but it's just so much. I mean, out of all the things, no warning of 9/11.
We're not touching our favorite,
the alien
component.
If what you're saying is going to happen, I'm going out and I'm looking up. Maybe I'm not looking at the sun, but if it's dark enough, right? Maybe you could look around.
Oh, yeah, because it might be the distraction.
Right.
But you look away from the sun.
And you might find something that they don't want you to see. I'm going to be looking around. Of all days, that could be the day that they're going to come.
Yes.
So, this is a crazy bombshell podcast. I have to do this. I hate to cut this little part short because we're going to play this clip here, but we made a promise before we came on that we will play a commercial every hour, and we blown past 2 hours and we hadn't played a commercial. So I think it's only fitting that we have to play something. What do you feel?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a little break.
Let's take a little break.
We were supposed
seventh. Omen.
No,
what is it?
We're so distracted.
Here, I have it here. What is it?
The seventh sign.
The seventh sign. We have.
All right, let's play them right back to the shop.
Yeah. Whew, so many things. I mean,
Thank you for the commercial. Okay, let's do the commercial.
We promise, folks. We have. This is how we get funding for this, because we need new equipment here. So please,
yes, we do.
Support the cast and your body, because Paramin Supplements is there for your body as much as it is for the cast. So support us, folks.
The worst health crisis we're facing in more than a century. Don't tell your supporters, don't be afraid of COVID. Everyone should be afraid of COVID. The worst health crisis we're facing in more than a century. Don't tell your supporters, don't be afraid of COVID. The worst health
about that, folks.
The worst health crisis we're facing in more than a century. Don't tell your supporters, don't be afraid of COVID. Everyone should be afraid of COVID. Don't tell your supporters, don't be afraid of COVID. Everyone should be afraid of COVID. Should be afraid of COVID.
They came in peace. I just want to say they gave me Regeneron. We have hundreds of thousands of doses that are just about ready. And if you're in the hospital and you're feeling really bad, we're going to work it so that you get them and you're going to get them free. And especially if you're a senior, we're going to get
should be afraid of COVID. Everyone should be afraid of COVID. Everyone should be afraid of COVID. Is there no one who can tell them don't do this? CNN.
So yes, folks, thank you for tuning in. This has been a bombshell podcast. We've had a lot of fun unpacking the synchronicities of this monumental event that will happen tomorrow around 2:30 in the afternoon. Make sure you have your pets indoors. Make sure your children don't look up. And if they do, make sure you have the proper eyeglasses or eclipse glasses for the event. And I recommend tomorrow will be a day of reflection. Stay home if you can. Be with family, because we do not know what is coming up in the very near future. We have an election that's going to be very tumultuous. And today's Ultimate Ohm is going to be a very special one, because we have to, be ready for what's to come. If anything, we just got to be ready.
Right.
Hopefully everybody got their shopping in. They filled their tanks up, make sure everything is ready in case, because there's always a possibility of some knucklehead or some knuckleheads using the eclipse to do some catastrophic, but here we're going to play you a trailer of the seventh sign.
Yes, we're going into the seventh sign trailer. But real quick, I just want to play this.
This is the most banned podcast on the internet. Morado. Stay tuned to get the scoop on current events, conspiracies, paranormal as we fly on the hovercraft, the Nebuchadnezzar, through the mystical forest of Narnia, broadcasting to you live, despite the efforts of the powers that be.
We're coming live.
AI just can't live. But yeah, so let's play that first. We're gonna play the seventh
sign, because it's very reminiscent about what's happening today.
All right, here we go.
These modern days of 2024.
Is coming.
I can't wait. 2 months to go.
The signs are beginning.
Found it.
It's incredible. The seals are breaking. The day is approaching.
Hello. Hi.
The mystery is unfolding.
I need to know what this says. I need to know what language it is.
It's about the apocalypse.
Your baby's due in February, the 29th.
How'd you know that?
There's a whole chain of signs, like a countdown. The Bible's filled with them.
One of the signs has to be stopped.
How, Mrs. Quinn, do you know how?
It's time for you to know, Abby.
Stay away.
There's nothing you can do. Can't stop it.
Show me you have hope, Abby.
seventh sign.
So, folks, if you're curled in to your comfy sofa in your little furry slippers tonight, and you guys want to, start this whole eclipse ending of the how do I say this? As you're getting prepared for the eclipse tomorrow in your home, maybe watch the seventh sign, and enjoy a movie with your family or your loved one. Then as we get ready for tomorrow, and hopefully everything is non-consequential, nothing happens, and let's hope for the best.
So with that being said, let's play this interesting report by our favorite reporter, Mr. Greg Reese.
Let's do it.
The solar eclipse on April 8th is becoming a major event.
You see the
National
cross,
Guard
right?
is being
Yep.
deployed, and the people are being advised to have 2 weeks of food and to fill their fuel tanks. This could be explained due to the fact that tens of thousands of visitors are expected along the path of totality. But many people believe that they could be preparing for possible earthquakes
Devil
due to the
comet.
Devil Comet aligning with the April 8th eclipse, and due to the fact that in 1811, a comet also appeared in the skies during a solar eclipse on the same path and was followed by the biggest earthquakes in American history. Known as the New Madrid earthquakes, around 10,000 earthquakes occurred in just 3 months' time, the biggest being measured at 8.8 magnitude. They were the most devastating series of earthquakes in recorded history. But it was a different comet, and while some claim that a solar eclipse can trigger earthquakes, this scenario seems unlikely. This eclipse season is, however, a very rare event. The recent eclipses in August of 2017 and October of 2023, along with the upcoming one on April 8th, forms an Aleph and a Tav over the United States. The Aleph and Tav are the first and last letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. These eclipses mark the end of the great year, a 26,000-year period that starts anew with the dawning of Aquarius and a new golden age. Manly P. Hall wrote that high-level Masons designed America for a peculiar and particular purpose, a secret destiny to bring about a new Atlantis or a new world order, wherein a king descended of a divine race will rule over all. In rituals, this king is symbolized as Apollo, Horus, or Nimrod, the father of Freemasonry, and is thought to be a descendant of the biblical Nephilim, or the Sumerian Anunnaki. According to Thomas Horn, this will happen in 2025, which corresponds to several documents published by intelligence agencies, such as Global Governance 2025, Global Trends 2025, and the 2025 Deagle Forecast on World Population. NASA is notorious for performing Masonic rituals based on the Egyptian mystery schools, Apollo being the same character as Horus, Sirius representing Isis, and Atlantis being the new golden age they hope to restore. And during the eclipse on April 8th, NASA will fire 3 rockets named after Apep, the Egyptian serpent god, whose goal was to devour Ra, the sun. And when the sun reemerges after 3 minutes of darkness, it will be likened to the rebirth of Horus, their new king of the Golden Age. CERN, known for practicing occult rituals at a statue of Shiva, the Hindu god who symbolizes death, destruction, and the end of an age,
I had no
will
idea
be
of that.
firing up their Large Hadron Collider to full power during the solar eclipse. And Israel, who is in the midst of committing genocide, is preparing to sacrifice a red heifer, a ritual sacrifice to prepare them for taking back the Temple Mount.
Red heifers, to be precise. Some Jews and Christians believe they're the key to rebuilding the historic Jewish temple in Jerusalem. and to beckoning the Messiah. To understand, you have to go back nearly 2,000 years when the ancient Romans destroyed the last temple in the city. To rebuild it, these believers point to the Bible's book of Numbers. It commands the Israelites to sacrifice a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke. Only then can the temple rise again. Those sacred cows were showcased in Washington at a recent prayer gathering. Many evangelicals believe these red heifers will usher Christ's second coming.
And we need the Messiah to come, right? So for me, the red heifer is red for the blood of Jesus Christ.
A massive altar already awaits, where the heifers are to be burned.
According to some believers, the ceremony needs to be performed right here on the Mount of Olives, looking directly into where the temple once stood. But something else now stands in its place.
Once they forcibly take the Temple Mount away from billions of Muslims worldwide, it will predictably thrust the world into the peak of chaos that these secret societies have been designing for centuries. And their plan is to bring order out of this chaos, with their divine king to rule over the world. But these are just rituals, and fear is an illusion. We can always choose love. Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
Wow. Well, he did it again. What a great way. We cannot say anything more. This is the best way that we could end the show. This wraps up everything that we said on the cast.
That's right.
But you saw that I wasn't talking out of my butt.
No, you were not. And we never do. We always have things that we pull our thoughts from, basis and fact and things that we're finding. So.
Imagine what we can do if we did this full time. We'd be dangerous.
I mean, we would be in the same position as Alex Jones.
Yes, we would. And
so, with that,
your grandpa's been watching, so has Dominic on this side. How many people? Is there still people in there?
oh yeah, I mean, look how many people have been watching.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
It's about 100 people or more.
So for all you folks, we cannot leave the show without, since everybody has been tuning in, let's give them some fanfare.
All right.
That's for you folks.
As I'm still scrolling by to make sure everybody gets their due. Wow.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in. And now we come to the most important part of the show. Before we go into the ultimate ohm, again, I'm going to dovetail to what our reporter, what's his name?
Greg Reese.
Greg Reese said, let's kill the beast with our love. Let's love one another. Let's congregate in peace. Shut up.
What do you guys want?
Shut up, Lucy. We don't want you to interrupt my love for everyone in humanity. Let's have a safe, happy eclipse viewing tomorrow. Be aware of your surroundings. Just don't be looking up, in a daze.
Look around you. The adversary likes to take these moments and take advantage. Remember, please, if you're going to look up, use your eclipse glasses. And Mr. Pablo came up with a good idea. As you get, for people that are in the totality range, right? You're going to see something very fascinating. It's called the dark umbra. That means behind you, you're going to see that shadow as it comes in. We're going to see the penumbral shadow because we're in the path of 95% totality.
Okay.
But you brought up a very good point. Look up into the sky, not towards the sun, but away from the sun, and see what's up there at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the dark.
Because I'm pretty certain that lights don't come. They come on by time, right? So there might be a lot of lights off at that time.
Yeah.
So you might just see something that you
might see what my passenger said, the mothership above the firmament. So let's get ready for the ultimate ohm, folks.
All right, and with that, it's time for
Turn off the light. Take a deep breath. And
I'd like to
relax.
finish with ohms. This is not a cult or a religion. It's just all. Meditation pose, lotus pose. Don't be afraid of your own voice. You're in your house, make some sound, no one cares. You're basically massaging the central nervous system. Trust me.
So, folks, we have come to the end of this bomb shell of a podcast. I want to wish good tidings to everybody who tuned in, everybody on Earth. Hopefully tomorrow is just a big cosmic show in the sky. That's it. What can I say? I'm a little bit perturbed with this whole synchronicity thing, but let's not let that take the joy of us living, loving our families and friends. Let's be good to one another. Let's stick it to the adversary and prove to him that we are stronger than him. And we're going to create peace on earth, love one another, and enjoy life. We're going to evoke this by trying to manifest positive vibrations, positive frequency, positive state of mind. So we're going to do a small prayer, like we always do, suggested by my significant other, to Saint Michael. And the prayer goes as this, like this. Saint Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the malice and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him. We humbly pray. And do you, O Prince of Heavenly Host, by the divine power, thrust into hell Satan and all evil spirits who prowl about the world, seeking the ruin of us. Amen.
Amen.
Now let's take a deep breath as we begin the ultimate Om. Cleansing breath out. Let's purge all negative energy, all the scary stuff that we spoke about today. And let's manifest good, positive vibrations and frequencies. Folks, I want you to have a safe eclipse day tomorrow. We'll be back next Sunday as we unpack this strange paranormal world that we live in. I want to thank everybody who tuned in on all social media platforms. You could reach me personally at thepyramid.com or at thepyramid@gmail.com if you want to send me some emails, some photos, some footage. You can also reach us through our social media. You can go to my TikTok, The Pyramid. We also have, no, that's our TikTok, The Pyramid, but you could also go on X. We got 89 shows, folks.
Yeah.
Next week, we unpack number 90, and we're at X at Pyramid Podcast.
That's right.
Instagram at paranormal.experience. Facebook at Anesto Morado. And look for us on all social media platforms, wherever podcasts are are transmitted.
Yep.
This been a really good show. We do our best. I'm proud of what we're doing here. I know we unpack some unsavory stuff, but hey, we're not here to candy coat it. And this is our opinions, what our investigation comes up with. If you guys have something better, or you guys want to correct us, or whatever it is, again, reach out to us through our social media, or personally, you can just email me at thepyramid@gmail.com. So.
Well, we appreciate all those that joined us. We still got people on right now. And we thank you all. And like we always end every podcast, if the universe is infinite,
then so are the possibilities. But remember, especially tomorrow, put up my channel a bit.
Okay, your channel's up.
The paranormal is all around us, folks. You just gotta look closely. Have a great eclipse day tomorrow.
Blue eyes, where did you come from? Electric blue eyes, who sent you? Electric blue eyes, always be near me. Electric blue eyes, I need you. Should I hear always be guardian angel, always be me. There's no fear at all.
Thank you.